Dang it, my stupid audio capture thing's not working again. Dang it! I don't know why it's not working. But it's 7 o'clock, so let's start. Let's start. Now, will this work? It works there? Why? But hey. Hi. Welcome to Order 42. I am Rob. Let me get out of the voice channel since I'm not technically in there. Disconnect. There we go. I just wanted to play off the Nook. Oh, off the Nook. What's going on, guys? How's it going? It's good to see so many people in here so early. I appreciate it. Hi. So what's going on? What's the word? How are you guys doing? We do have a poll. We do have a live poll right now. So if you're interested in voting, you should vote. You should vote. You should vote. Shozama, I will be talking about that later. But anyway, let's say hi to everybody in chat. Of course, Staffaux out first. I mean, like, I was putting the poll, so basically the way that it works, if you're setting up a live stream, you set it up, you set up your keywords and all that stuff, your thumbnail, all that stuff, right? I don't even know if it's the right thumbnail. I think it is. Anyway, because somebody's mentioned, Cosma said, looks like someone got a haircut. I did. Yeah. But like, you set it up, then you hit go, and then it immediately starts to come up, and then I can add the poll in there. And as I'm adding the poll, Ricky comes in hot, and I'm like, wow, that was fast. So you guys got to be fast if you want to beat Ricky. That's just the way it's got to be. You know, if you want to beat Ricky, you got to be fast. So anyway, Bonobo Juice, welcome. You know what? You may not be first this time, but you're first in my heart. That's not true. I appreciate all you guys equally. Except maybe Bonobo Juice. But you shouldn't play favorites. As a streamer, you shouldn't play favorites. Now, if someone was to, I don't know, give me, financial freedom, well, then, it might be better to play a little bit of favorite at that point. But here's the thing. I ain't getting rich off YouTube, and it's okay. It's no big deal. It's just between us, and it's fun, and it's no big deal. But anyway, and sorry, I can't put I explained this in the chat, but I can't play any songs while we're in the waiting screen. I could go live and just play the intro that says stream starting soon, but then that would be weird to just have my computer streaming for 2 hours doing nothing. I'd feel weird about that. I mean, I know, look, there's guys out there that, stream 24 hours a day. Anthony Kongpan over there on Twitch. He did a 30-day stream. Now, I think he had to quit, like his computer jacked up or freaked out or something. But he was streaming for almost multiple days in a row. And so he's got cameras set up all over his house. You can watch him, you know, I think he was wearing some sort of like inflatable tube thing so he could take a shower. That was weird. But yeah, you can watch him sleep and all that stuff. I don't, it's not that kind of stream, man. It's just not. I don't have that kind of money for a setup. No. I don't know. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do that. That's just not me. But anyway, yes, I did Cosma. I did get a haircut today, and it feels good. It feels good and it feels right. You know? Anyway. Yeah, get that notification. Get that notification. I know. And KP Senti, welcome. He says, I can't wait for Order 42 to talk about that new FNAF movie. You're going to be waiting a while. Because I got to be honest, the Five Nights at Freddy's, it's not for me. It's not for me, and it's just not for me. So, more for you, you know? I hope you enjoy it, but it's not for me. So, and the thing is I don't get, you know, as a small YouTuber, small as in the number of subs, not the, like, I'm in like average height. But anyway, I don't get free tickets. I don't get to just go see movies, you know, whenever I want. So I have to pay for them. And that's not a movie no, it's not a movie that I care to pay for. Sorry. It's just not. It's just not. It's just not. Okay? And it's okay. It's okay. More for you. But anyway. And welcome, Ninjinzu. Good to see you, sir. Appreciate you. But before we get any further, we do need to, you know, we need to talk about the poll. So the first up is the Apple Jacks. It's called Chemical X. Now this is a flavor that, again, I've tried before. I tried years and years ago. But with the new I wouldn't even say the new regulations, the new direction that the US liquid manufacturing companies have done, they've taken out some of the more, not dangerous. I mean, the amount that was dangerous was, anyway, it doesn't even matter. Basically, a lot of companies have changed their recipes over the years, updated them and stuff like that. Sometimes you can get a liquid that you've tried before and it tastes completely different now. But I figured, hey, I wanted an Apple Jacks flavor. Let's try it. So that's one of them. This one's one I've never tried. We've tried from this same company, Twisted Timmy's. I've tried the original. I've tried the cinnamon, and then there's another one that I tried and I can't remember. I think it was the strawberry. But this is the banana cream. So, and it's, you know, cream. Anyway, I don't know. Could be good, could be bad. It could taste like a banana runt. It could taste like a fresh banana. We don't know. We won't know until we try it. And then the last one is from the Cloud Chemist. This is a new flavor that I've never tried. Atomic Peanut Puff. And this is supposed to be peanut butter crunch, you know, like Captain Crunch. So I'm a peanut butter freak. So yeah, I mean, why not? So you guys, it's all up to you. And you know, as I always say, if you don't vote today, then you don't get to vote funky. Now, I don't know if you can hear that, but there's a guy in my neighborhood. Can you hear that? I don't know if you can hear it, but he drives a four-wheeler up and down the street, up and down the street, up and down the street for hours. And I'm like, I mean, look, I know I'm getting old, but come on, man. What are you doing? Why are you driving a four-wheeler? There's nowhere around here to drive a four-wheeler. Like, to actually need to drive a four-wheeler. You're just being a prick. And I want to go out there and yell at him. But I don't know if I should. And I don't know if that's a like a noise complaint or whatever, but it's so annoying when I'm sitting here trying to do something and all I hear is up and down the street, up and down the street, over and over and over and over and over. Shut up. Find something else to do that's, quiet. It's bad enough we got all these, kids running around having fun outside. I don't care about the kids. The kids is one thing. I mean, you can't really do anything. You're there playing outside. Hey, I'm glad you're playing outside instead of, sitting inside doing whatever, You're outside, you're having fun, that's a good thing. But come on, man. Come on. I don't know. Anyway. Off the nug. Jody B, welcome. Good to see you. And yeah, we had a little bit of winter time. I figured I'd try to turn on the snow, since it's December. Even though there's a pretty good chance we're probably not even going to see snow here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. You just don't see it. You don't see it very often at all. Illegal. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if that's to just have a stream going for hours with nothing going on. I don't even know. I don't know how YouTube would handle that. They'd probably be like, hey, he needs to do something. But anyway, I don't know. Come join us and the snow. I mean, there's really, like I said, no snow to be had here, but I've heard that up there in the north, man, you guys are getting some snow. In a way, I'm jealous, and in a way, I'm not. It's going to be in the 60s this weekend, or this whole week here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. So, I mean, it's a thing. It's a thing. Yeah. He's in Peaky Blinders because of the factory ash. It's not ash, okay? It's just snow. It's just snow. Wintertime blues. I mean, look, I get it. I don't look. Snow's cool. It's pretty, but it's like, okay, now I'm done. Like after about 2 days, I'm like, okay, good. Go away. Go away now so I can go do things and drive around and not have to worry about some idiot smacking into me. But I don't break the law in my BMW, although what was I doing? Something recently where I don't know, I went really fast. I went really unreasonably fast. And I can't remember why. But that was recent. That did happen. That's right. Rubber bands. I don't know. But no, I don't usually break the law. I don't usually. Order 42 official soundtrack, first mini album. I mean, here's the thing. I've thought many times that I should put all of my music on like Spotify or something, or band SoundCloud. Wasn't there another one? What's the other? Anyway, I thought about it and I just was like, it's whatever. I don't care. I was actually thinking about just putting them on YouTube and just be like, hey, if you use this, cool. Just make sure you link back to me, kind of thing. Use it if you want. I don't know. We need a holiday remix of the intro with sleigh bells. I don't know if that would work. But you know what? It's a thought. It's a thought. I mean, we could just have the freaking Santa Pez thing going. You know what I mean? You guys ever capture audio before? That's right. In a bottle. You ever yelled into a bottle and then capped it really fast? And then, wouldn't that be weird if you could do that? I mean, that's like a cartoon thing, but I don't know. Tex Avery. So easy on Windows. Well, here's the thing. It's just because they updated. I think what happened is that they updated the way that the audio capture works. See, that's the weird thing, is that Mac OS has like a mixer. And so each each program has like its own audio track, and you have to basically set that up, in this in OBS. And the way that it used to work is that it was, you had to set them all up. Like different like applications would have its own audio track. But now it's just set up that way. Well, I think what happened is I just didn't update it on that first screen to be the new way that it captures audio. It's technical stuff, and it probably doesn't matter. I mean, how many times do I actually want to play something during the middle of the intro? Not much. So, so Showzama, Dogma. Did anyone pick up the Dogma 4K Blu-ray? If so, how much was it? I pre-ordered it, and it was supposed to come today. I pre-ordered it from Lionsgate Limited, which I think was $39.99. Yes, I could have gotten it cheaper elsewhere, but I don't know. I didn't want it to sell out, and I was excited. And as soon as it went live, I clicked the button. It is not coming today. It is supposed to come tomorrow. So maybe I'll post it in the old Discord there, or just wait till next week. Either way, but yeah, I do have it on the way. So there you go. Oh my gosh, man, you guys are just chatting away. Holy crap, Matthew Walls, good to see you. Triple threat match of the decade. Oh, are you talking about the... Oh man, we're going to get into the Warner Brothers, Netflix, Paramount stuff here in a bit. But yeah, it's such a weird thing. And man, I saw a thing about an hour before the stream started, and it was basically a video from the Dre dossier, which I think is on TikTok and on YouTube. Anyway, this video kind of broke down a theory that made me go, oh, this could get dangerous quickly. So, I mean, I hate to stay tuned for the whatever, but I don't want to get into it right. I don't want to get into it just yet, but holy crap, there's a lot going on with that. And it's interesting. Staying home because I'm broke. I mean, I get that too. Enjoying free and light entertainment provided by Order 42 Show. I mean, I hope you're enjoying it. I always try to put on, somewhat of a fun stream and talk to the peeps and all that kind of thing. So I hope you're enjoying it. I just looked at the poll and my eyes deceived me. I'm gonna flip a table over this atrocity. Why? What? I'm not sure why. But there you go. I'll skip being first next week. Well, Star Fox, that is very generous of you to do that. But I mean, look, man, if you're first, you're first. It's just the way it is. A little lung action, Phlegm City all weekend. Hit up the beach for a winter sunrise, crab legs. I mean, some of that sounds great, and some of it sounds awful. I have been, I will say that on and off over the last 2 weeks, I've had I call it the teddy bear head. And it's because of I don't remember what commercial it was. I kept trying to find it and I could never find it. But it was basically and I've talked about this before, where you get, it's a commercial for one of those allergy or sinus infection kind of medication. And it's this dude walking around in a suit, but he's got this huge freaking teddy bear head. And it's kind of like the whole orange block thing, where I'm like, do you ever have a problem not having an orange block? Try orange block, Same sort of thing where it's like, do you have a giant teddy bear head? If so, take this medication. And then the teddy bear, the head shrinks down and he's all normal. And he's like, I can breathe again. And I'm like, what does the teddy bear head have to do with anything? Anyway, sinus pressure, and I don't know if it's allergies or what, but I've been sneezing like crazy. My wife's been sneezing like crazy. It's just one of those things. I've had a big old giant teddy bear head over the last couple of weeks, on and off. Today's not been so bad, but you know, it's a thing. I got the notification, but I was chasing a flying bug in my house. Well, you know what I always say? If there's a flying bug in your house, then you should take care of it. Yeah, that's what I always say. I never, hey, whatever. Hey, I hope you got that taken care of, because that's a thing. And Ninjinzu, yes, you have claimed the title of first many, many times. And what's with all the flying pests? Okay, I'm just saying. Was it 2 hours? It was like 3 hours, I think, because I think I made it live, or basically clicked the button at like around 4 o'clock. So that would have been 3 hours of just nothing. And I don't want to do that. I can't do a Jennifer Garner voice. You can get financial freedom with the Capital One Venture X business card. Here's the thing. Do you guys ever like when you're watching a YouTube channel and they do the ad read or whatever? I know a lot of you probably, like me, just click through. Are there certain creators that you just let it play? I'm just curious. Because here's the thing. I have been reached out to a couple of times for some sponsorships. And one of the sponsors, one of the most recent people to reach out to me, I'm sitting there and I'm going, okay, I mean, that's cool that you're reaching out to me and you're buttering me up, saying I'm all like awesome and, man, I love your content and I want to blah, blah, blah. I get it. You got to try to, get the sponsorship thing. But I was like, I wouldn't use this product. So it's like, I have a problem with that. And I know that there's a lot of people out there that will just take every sponsorship that they can. Because I mean, this is a grind, man. YouTube is a grind. And if you want to make this a thing, then, sometimes you got to play that game. I just can't bring myself to do that. But I'm curious how many of you would actually watch it. Like, how many of you would actually care? I don't know. It's just a question. Just a question. And I know that there are certain characters. I mean, some of them are characters. But there are certain content creators that I will let the ad play, man. I will sit and watch. Even if it's just for their watch time, because it's not like they're getting paid off of how many people watch that portion of the video. They're basically paid for the whole video, right? But I let it play, man. I let it play on some people. Some of them I'm like, nah. I'm not here for that. Get it. Come on. Get to the actual thing. But anyway, I'm just curious. You'd start at like 20 minutes before or 10 minutes. Adam Russell. Hey, Rob, got my Tom and Jerry collection. Well, guess what? So did I. I got mine yesterday. It was scheduled to come on Friday. But I actually got it yesterday. I'll just show this off now. It is a really, really nice thing. Yeah, you can kind of read that. You can see there's a lot of featurettes and commentaries and bonus shorts. I mean, I just think that's cool. Warner Archive. Now, I'm not going to be one of those people that is like, I honestly do not think that we need to go buy everything right now. Like, if you love the Warner Archive as I do, don't think that it's necessary to just go buy everything you want right now. I just don't see that. It's going to be a while before anything happens. And if anything does happen, it would take at least 6 months, maybe a year, before we have to worry about physical media from Warner. There's a lot of things being planned. In fact, I got a bunch of notifications earlier today about a bunch of Warner Archive releases, bunch of older films. Um, as you may or may not know, and you know, I gotta give credit where credit's due. It's Shozama. Shozama got me into watching old films again, and I've really been enjoying it. And yeah, I just don't think that you need to rush out right now and buy all the Warner Archive stuff you can. I mean, buy the stuff you want, of course, but you know, you don't have to. You don't have to just go broke trying to. Oh, I gotta buy it all now. I think it's going to be around for a while, and I honestly feel like the physical media side, it has a good chance of sticking around. But we don't know yet. We won't know until the dust settles on all of this stuff. And it's going to be a while before the dust settles. So don't worry. You know, everybody breathe. Everybody, you know. Yeah, deep breath. It's okay. It's okay. We're going to get through this. Everything I was going to say everything's going to be okay, but that's we just don't know. We don't know what's going to happen yet. It's a little scary. But anyway, 24/7 stream. No, I just can't see that, man. Like number one, my life is not that interesting. If I was playing video games or whatever all the time, then yeah, maybe I could see how that, you know, you're streaming for 12, 15 hours a day or something like that. I can see that. Or having a bunch of friends over, but I mean, honestly, it's not a really big house. Um, and I just don't think it would be that interesting. And I don't have the fan base large enough to make that work. You know, he's got regularly people, you know, 200 people watching him all the time. And then it goes up to 1,000, 1,200, 1,400, 1,500 people watching him all the time. I don't have that kind of fan base to make it worth streaming for 24/7. I can't even see it. Bucha would love to see you sleeping for 8 hours on a stream. I mean, I don't know about that. You know, is he even here tonight? He may not. Oh, he is here. I see you. I see you down there, Bucho. I see you. But you got a haircut too? Well, that's good, because doesn't it make you feel good? Doesn't it make you feel like, man, I am somebody? Maybe not. I don't know. I just feel better after a haircut, you know? When I get my bonus, I'm going to buy Rob something. No one needs to buy me anything. Because here's the thing. I've gotten to a point now where I'm like, I really don't need anything, like, ever. Like, I've got so much crap to watch, to read, to just take in. I don't know. I'm good. No one needs to buy me anything. No one needs to freaking nothing. I'm good. Okay. I need to eat, but even that's not that much. So don't even worry. Don't even worry about it. Now, I will say, Ricky, that offer that I made you in the Discord chat, that offer's on the table. You know, I can make you some liquid, but it was more of a hand delivered type thing, you know. So, well, just keep that in mind. You just keep that in mind. I don't know what it is that. It looks like a man jumping, but it's got like shadows. I don't know. Like a Griswold bonus. I mean, I haven't had an Applejack flavor in years. Well, I can tell you that this one used to be a go-to. Like, I used to eat, well, just like anything, there are fads, and in vaping, it's that way. You know, for a while there, it was like everything was cereal. Like, all the hot e-liquids that everybody was talking about was all cereal based. And then it all went, you know, like I don't know if it's still a thing because I don't vape it, but like all the cooling, the menthol type, I hate those. But that got really big. And I'm sure they'll be like, oh, everything's drinks or everything's whatever, there's Red Bull flavors and I don't know. But the cereal flavors are always like a good fallback every now and then. And since I hadn't had it in a while and it was on sale for Black Friday, I was like, yeah, I want to try that again. And again, this one, the peanut butter crunch, I want to try that eventually too. I mean, look at it though. That is dark. Both of these are dark. Those are really dark. Usually when they're dark like that, it means that, man, they will gunk things up. Does it have huh, that's interesting. There's no, made on this date or anything like that. Does this one have it? No. So who knows? Hopefully they weren't sitting on the shelf for a year. But anyway, just a bonus from sales at work. Hey, that's good. Severely underwhelmed by the Applejack flavored Pop-Tarts. Well, Frodis boy, welcome again. Hi. I haven't had a Pop-Tart. I think the last Pop-Tarts, like new Pop-Tarts thing I tried was the s'mores Pop-Tarts. And those are dangerously good. Like if you like s'mores, it's like, man, that's good. It's really tasty. I kept meaning to post this in Discord and I just didn't because I'm an idiot. But I bought this yesterday. Bought both of those. Chocolate caramel smart food, so popcorn, and then salted caramel Lay's potato chips. What? I have to say both of them were that's about that's my review of the two of those. It's fine. Nothing special. The salted caramel chips is like, oh, these are salty chips with a little hint of sweetness, which is odd. But I wanted to try them, so there you go. But Bucho, welcome. Good to see you, sir. I hope you're doing okay. Yeah, a lot of the see, I'm a sucker for the limited edition type stuff. The planters, and I haven't been able to find these anywhere here. But when I was at Wood's house, I tried the apple cider donut. Were they almonds or were they cashews or whatever they were? Apple cider donut planters nuts. And man, I'm going to tell you, those are awesome. Like those are like, okay, those are really good. I'm going to stay away from those because otherwise I will just eat them all. Put them in my face. It's so good. Can you redo the poll? I clicked the wrong one. No. No. Because right now, banana cream is winning. 53% of the votes, banana cream is winning. And Apple Jacks and peanut butter cereal, both of those are tied for second place. So, and I only have the one setup here tonight. So whatever wins is what's gonna win. But I'm sorry you picked the wrong one. Hopefully something will happen. Well, let's see. 53, 24. So that means half of the people pick banana cream. I don't think, I mean, unless we get a ton more people in here, which probably won't happen. But unless we get a ton more people in here, there's no chance. There's no chance of anything but banana cream winning. But we've still got a while before we even get to that point. So, hey, somebody new comes in, say, hey, pick this one, maybe. And hey, if you haven't voted, why not? Why not throw your hat in the ring? So we can figure out whether the Apple Jacks, the banana cream, or the peanut butter crunch is going to be on the the thing to try and things. I wonder what the local ordinances are with no. I don't know, but it's just so annoying. Who are the people in your neighborhood? I don't know. In fact, I think I don't know, but I keep hearing him go about halfway down the street this way. So I'm thinking, okay, he's down there, like maybe 6 houses down. But I'm like, dude, I don't know, man. I just would never do anything like that. Like I would never go on my back porch and just blare, you know, blare music. Doesn't matter what genre it is. I just wouldn't do that because I know that, sound travels. And I know that there might be people that may not want to hear the music that I'm playing. I just would never do that. But then again, I'm a thoughtful person. So, I don't know. Trying to turn Rob into a Karen. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I just don't know. I had high hopes for those Pop-Tarts. Probably my first mistake. I will say my favorite limited edition or new thing that I've tried recently are the Snickerdoodle Twix. Those are tasty. So it's basically take that cookie and make a Snickerdoodle cookie into it in a Twix. Those are tasty. And I had to stop buying them because damn, Yeah. Grim Raider, welcome. Good to see you. And I don't know about that. I'm not going to say small D, nah. I mean, look, hey, whatever. But it's more like I got to show off for something. It's also why I've never been that guy that says, I want my muffler to be annoyingly loud. Or I want to put the train horn on my car. I've just never been that guy. It's like, hey, I want to annoy people. I've never been that guy. I don't know. I live in a 4-wheeler neighborhood. I saw someone riding a mini bike with their baby. They took her baby. I've just never understood that. I don't know. And I'm talking about the little I'm like the 4-wheeler. You know what I mean? It's like a little, like almost like a motorbike, but it's four wheels. It's something that you would take, like we're going to go, do jumps and things. It's not for driving down a freaking neighborhood road. I find it baffling to me. I mean, look, I want one of those, I don't know what they're called, but they're the things where, like if you have land, you get one of these things, it's covered. It almost looks like a golf cart, but they're really kind of fast, and they can actually like haul equipment and things. Like, maybe you got to go hunt freaking coyotes on the back 40 or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know I don't know what I'm talking about. All I know is that they're kind of cool, and I have no use for one, but they're kind of cool, and I want one. I don't know. It's okay if it's small. I stopped using it years ago. Yeah, but man, going up and down the street like that, I just don't get it, man. Only, let's see, there's more than 5 peeps in here, but only 5 likes. Well, we're up to 8 from what I can see. But here's the thing. I don't care. You guys do whatever, man. You want to click the like? You want to click the like up and down? You want to click like and dislike and like and dislike and like it? Do whatever you want. I don't care. Hey, it's a free country. I mean, America is a free country. But hey, whatever, man. Whatever you want to do. I appreciate it either way. I just appreciate you're here. That's all I care about. All I care about. I need snow for life. I'm so far behind. Wow. Bandcamp? Forever gonna bug you for it. If I make you packaging, will you reconsider? I actually made CDs for my family of my electronic music. And I don't even know if anybody's got them anymore. But they had a thing and track listing and all the things, but I don't know. Yelling in a bottle and having the voice in there is some Tex Avery, Tom and Jerry type stuff. Yes. Show sold out on Lionsgate Limited and restock in January. Well, like I said, I got my order in like almost immediately. The same with on Amazon, I pre-ordered Catch Me If You Can and Minority Report. Well, oh my gosh, I can't grab it. I got Catch Me If You Can. But Minority Report says it won't be here till December 20th. That updated this morning. So apparently, and these came out, these both streeted today, and they both went on sale or like pre-orders at the same time. And I pre-ordered Catch Me If You Can and Minority Report, like click click add to cart, freaking purchase, because those are two really really good Steven Spielberg movies. And if you haven't seen this, this is a movie that I love. I love this movie. It's not, to me, it's not one of Spielberg's best, but this is a great film. I really enjoy it. Tom Hanks, Leo. I mean, it's awesome. But really, for me, it's John Williams. John Williams' score in this. Look at how it's changed my color. Just having blue. Isn't that weird how it, like, my colors will change? Now it's like super warm. And if it gets closer, it gets even warmer. Look at how warm that gets. It's pretty warm. And now let's cool back off, cool back off, cool back off, cool back off, cool back off. Okay. Anyway, this is a great movie. I love it. I'm glad to have it in 4K, but it's really all about that John Williams score, man. That John Williams score, you can tell he's having a blast. It's just fun. It's a fun movie. But yeah, for some reason, Minority Report, I pre-ordered them at the exact same time, and Minority Report is delayed till December 20th. And if you go on Amazon right now for Minority Report, it says temporarily out of stock. So I don't know what's going on with that, but I think it has to do with, in fact, does it say on here? Just made in Germany. So that's interesting. A lot of them have been made in Mexico. Does it say on here where it's made? No, no, no. That's a little disappointing. There's a bend in the spine. You can see it. There, yeah, you can see it right there. Yeah, there you go. You can see that bend. So it like got squished a little bit. I found that I just don't care anymore. Like as long as the discs are okay, I don't care what the box looks like. But anyway, the Dre dossier came after the Chronic album. Not that Dre, Drey. But anyway, I get you. I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. Samuel, welcome. Good to see you. If there's a flying bug in your house, trap it in your mama's blouse. Yeah. If it seems short, then I'll let it play. If it seems long, then I try to fast forward. Whatever pays the bills. Yeah, you're talking about the ads and things. That was a long time ago. I'm far behind. Far behind. And I don't know. I'm just. It depends on the creator. Some creators I'll let it play. Some I'll be like, no, get out of here. But that's just me. Jerome the Great, welcome. Good to see you. It's free content. I'll watch the ads. I know. That's kind of how I feel about it. Like, Marquez Brownlee, he always does it sort of entertainingly. The like Spawn Wave, when he does them very rarely, but when he does them, I usually just let it play. I'm trying to think. Happy Console Gamer, when he does it, let it play. Just let it roll. Just let that roll, man. But I don't know. It's just weird. Host read ads are greater than ad videos. I agree with that. Host read ads, host read ads. I get what you mean though. Oldies but goodies. That's right, Shozama. I mean, again, I still got to get through Miami Vice, but I'm really looking forward to watching these. And again, this is one of these things that I kind of want to do a video on this. In fact, I might do that this week because I don't really have anything to review this week. Because Wake Up Dead Man, the third movie in the Benoit Blanc trilogy of films, Rian Johnson's Benoit Blanc films, Knives Out, Glass Onion, now Wake Up Dead Man, that premieres on Netflix this Friday. But I was kind of thinking, what I might do is do a video on physical media. Like, what are the pros, the cons, what are the good things about physical media, the bad things about physical media. But it's like Warner Archive, man. Again, 6 movies in this one singular Blu-ray, and it's all here individually. I mean, I love their presentation, man. And I love the fact that 6 movies will fit in this singular Blu-ray case instead of something that will be like freaking huge. You know what I mean? It's and that's the kind of thing I want to talk about is what's important. But anyway, I'll just wait for the video. But I love that. I love the fact that you can get that many discs in a singular thing like this. I just think that's awesome. But anyway, the Fred and Barney Show. Really? I didn't see that one. I'm guessing that is the Flintstones. I mean, not the Flintstones, but is that like a side thing? I don't honestly know what that is, but I didn't see what that was. I don't know. I've never been a Flintstones guy though. I know. Never been a Flintstones nor Jetsons guy. Get you a bonus. I don't know what that means. But hey, good on you, Chief. You know? I don't need to buy you anything, but I'm going to. I mean, look, I'm not going to stop anybody from doing whatever, but I'm good, man. I'm good. I got more to do right now than probably in the last, I don't know, 2 years. I've got so many things to watch, so many things to read. And then on top of that, I'm just going to do this. Hashtag not sponsored. I just wanted to let you know about it. Just in case you're interested. I'm doing this. I did this BBC Maestro thing. It's 40% off right now. Up at the top. It's 40% off for the year. Right? But here's the thing. There are writers, there are actors, there's directors. I've talked about this before. But here's the thing. All I've been watching so far is the Alan Moore thing. Alan Moore wrote Watchmen, League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, V for Vendetta, among many other things. Okay? He's a great writer. He's a great storyteller. And his whole course is on storytelling. And it's like 6-something hours. Now, yeah, you might say, well, yeah, but can't you just watch things on YouTube? Yes, but not from Alan Moore. And it's kind of cool because I like Alan Moore as a personality, and I've loved his writing over the years, but I've never heard him talk this much. And he's talking about his process. He's talking about how he comes up with things, how he comes up with characters, setting, time period, all of these things. It's awesome. It's so good. Like, I feel like I've gotten my money's worth, and I haven't even finished the Alan Moore course yet. Brian Cox for acting. You've got Edgar Wright for directing or filmmaking, and many other writers and personalities. And there's different courses that I'm just not interested in. Like, oh, here's how to do wine tasting, and I'm like, I don't give a crap about that. But as long as I can get something out of it, I think it's pretty cool. So it's kind of like Masterclass, if you've ever heard that. The cool thing about Masterclass is that I don't know if it's on sale right now, but Masterclass has a different set of people. And when I'm done with this, I'm probably going to get the Masterclass too and listen to those writers and their processes and things like that. And I think that's really, really interesting stuff. As I've said, as a budding writer myself, I read Stephen King's On Writing, and it doesn't teach you how to be creative. You know, you kind of have to already be doing those things. But man, it was fascinating to hear his thought process on how he does things and what his routines are. You know, like he gets up in the morning and he makes himself a cup of coffee and he goes in there and plays some music and then starts to write. And sometimes it turns into a thing. And sometimes he's like, I don't want to work on this story. I want to work on this little short story, that idea that I had. Or whatever. And that's how he comes up. He's so prolific as a writer is because he's always writing, and he does it like a job, like a 8 to 5 job. He'll take however much time for lunch, he'll go on a walk, and then he'll come back and he'll finish off the day by writing some more. And sometimes those things turn into things, a short story or a novel or whatever. I just find that fascinating. But listening to Alan Moore talk, and of course, he's coming at it from a couple of different perspectives because he's mostly known for comics, but he's also written novels and he's written screenplays. And one of the things that he said is, hey, diversify, write in different, different methods because all of them have their own advantages and disadvantages. I find that fascinating because guess what? That's what I want to do. So I don't know. I've gotten a lot out of it so far, and I wanted to share it with you just in case you're interested. I'm just going to say that so far, I feel like I've gotten my money's worth just out of the Alan Moore one, but there's a ton more on there. So, hey, check it out if you're interested. BBC Maestro. There you go. Hashtag not sponsored. I don't care. Like they don't have to pay me. I love that. Like if they wanted to sponsor me, hell yeah, I would do it. Because I would absolutely say that so far I've gotten my money's worth halfway, 2/3 of the way into my first course. It's already worth it. So. Bonus. Gotcha. Bonus. Not bonus, a bonus. Gotcha. Yeah. What if I buy you more decoration for your backdrop? Ugh, that looks yummy. I want. I mean, some of that's gonna. Here's the thing. I used to do that. I used to like decorate the whatever, but this is a weird thing, but I don't like the idea of someone going back to one of my videos and then being distracted by the time. Like, it's like, why? I'm watching this video in July. Why is there a Christmas thing in the background? I just don't like doing that because a lot of the content that I do, I feel like it's not seasonal, and it's not like news. It's not like a news thing or review of something that just came out or whatever. I mean, it is, but I like the fact that some of the videos that get the most attention are videos I did years ago. And I still get, for example, I still get comments to this day on my review of Ridley Scott's A Good Year. Because there's people that are like, I've never understood why people don't like this movie. It's fascinating, to see Ridley Scott do a movie like this, and it's just heartwarming, and it's just a good movie. It's a good, relaxing, wonderful film, and I don't understand why people hate it. And I'm like, I know, and I continually get comments on that video. And that was years ago that I did that. And then one that I did a few years ago was for At Close Range, the Christopher Walken film from like 1985, 86, whatever time, whatever day or year that came out. I get tons of views on that, and I don't understand it. But I like that. I like the fact that people can still go back and listen or watch my review on some old film or even a newer film, and it doesn't matter, It's so basically what I'm saying is that's why I don't decorate my background for the season. I'll change it up every now and then, but it won't be a seasonal thing because I don't know. It's weird. So anyway, THX, do I have any felonies? I mean, no. What a strange question, but welcome. Good to see you. Banana for the win. Hey. Did I see Rufus in here? Oh, hey, Rufus. I didn't see you there. Hi. Because usually when it's like, hey, yo, hey, good to see you, something like that, I skip that because, we'd be here all day if I read all that. But good to see you guys. Good to see you guys. Snickle Dickles? Oh, Snickle Dickles. Yes. Snickerdoodle. You don't have a whistle tip? No whistle tubes. Tubes? I don't have whistle tips either. Or whistle tubes, whatever those are. I have a train horn on my truck, but it's for when people piss me off. Yeah. Steven, welcome. Side by side. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about. You mean a UTV? Sure. I don't know. Utility type vehicle? Yes. If that's what that means. I don't know what that means. Oh my God, rare CDs. Where? I didn't see any. Who? I heard if you like, dislike, share, save, start, you get 30 lives. That's true. That is true. Uh huh. That's exactly right. It's basically YouTube's version of the Contra code. So there you go. You must find a copy of what? What did I do? I don't remember. I don't remember. I have a UTI. Is that similar? Very similar, Rufus. It causes about the same amount of pain. Auto white balance? Yeah. I don't care about the auto stuff because it's, like the only thing I care about is that. Focus on my hand. There you go. And here's something that is kind of annoying because I don't know if you notice, but I do my screenshots for my thumbnails where I'm on one side or the other, and when I get off to the side, it focuses on the background. So in order for me to take a picture like I'm going like that, I got to do this. I got to put my hand up and then put my hand down real quick, and then it goes out of focus again. So I got to make sure that it gets the picture. I mean, sure, I could just take a picture and nah. It's much easier through OBS. Anyway, you can flatten it out with an iron parchment paper. Oh yeah, it doesn't matter that much. Doesn't matter that much. It amazes me to hear Rob watches channels I vaguely know. Well, look, look. Even though I don't play a whole lot of video games. The video game industry is still really interesting to me because it's got a lot of DNA in common with how the movie industry works, and a lot of times the video game companies that are owned by movie studios or owned by the same parent company, sometimes their decisions that they make on video games will affect movies and so forth and blah 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 blah. But also I do like new video games. Like I played the new Metroid Prime 4, and I'm curious, has anybody played it and what do you think of it? We'll get back to my thoughts on it after I hear from you, because I'm sure some of you have played it. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think about the game in the old chat there. D best in the world RKO. Rob, I'm still kind of torn with what's still going on. I will leave it that. Have good Christmas regardless. Hi. And I think I know what you're discussing and what you're talking about. I am also confused. All I can tell you is that the only thing that I cared about since 2019 when I quit my job was to help Billy and Jay make their movie. That's it. That's it. I never cared about money. I didn't care about I honestly, here's the thing, and this is going to be one of those things, I've said it before, and it kind of ruffles some feathers when I say this, because it sounds weird. But my interest was never in the Game Chasers channel. My interest was Billy and Jay. That was my goal. That's all I cared about. And I cared about helping them. And so when Billy goes into the hospital, my goal was to help Billy. That's it. That's it. Anything else has nothing to do with me and nothing to do with anything that I ever involved myself with. I wasn't involved in decision making for the channel. I wasn't involved in anything but helping them realize their dream of making this movie, which I just so happen to be wearing the shirt today because that's what I cared about. And of course, I was in the process of writing the next movie. And there were things that we'd all discussed, we'd all been had a part in some of the story ideas for the movie, and I went off and started writing it and finished it. And then over the last, I would say 6 to 8, I'll say since February or March, Billy had taken the script and started to make directorial changes. And so basically changes to the script that as a director, this is, you know, basically notes for him, you know, in a lot of cases. But I will say that he changed the third act. I wouldn't say drastically, but he made it so much better. So the final version of the script that we have is really kind of like this weird, it's a lot of me in there, you know, because a lot of it has to do with my experiences and things like that, and kind of my point of view and all that, and wanting to get that point of view across to the audience. But then when he took over, it's kind of like there's a lot of Billy in that script too. So that was it. I mean, my goal was to help them make their movie adventures, and then let's keep working together so we can make the next movie. So my involvement in the channel was always, hey, I'll help you film. And in filming it, even though it's not a movie, I filmed it the way that I would want it. And I filmed it in ways that, you know, like I framed things how I would want it to look if it were a movie, and trying to get some neat shots and things like that. And I kept asking Billy, I was like, man, I hope I'm doing a good job for you. And he's like, dude, you're doing great. So keep doing what you're doing. I'm like, okay. Because I'm just making decisions off the, on my, off the cuff here. And if I'm not filming what you want me to film, you let me know and I'll make the change. So in a weird way, over the last however many years that I'd actually been filming for them, the whole thing changed. The way we worked changed, because now there was a shorthand, and it was really cool. It was really cool, and it was really, I mean, it's fun, man. It's fun. It's fun to hang out with those guys, but it's also fun to create with those guys. So yeah, that was my goal for the Game Chasers. I had no interest in the channel really at all, because I'm not a retro video game guy. So my goal was to, and they were like, oh, well, you should, be in it more. And I'm like, no, it's not my channel. It's your channel. Nobody's there to see me. I'm just the guy that's filming you guys. That's should be the focus. And if I can interject something that's kind of funny every now and then, sure, cool. But nobody's here to see me, So anyway, I hope I think I'm actually friends with you on Facebook. I hope that you understand that my goal was never anything but help those two guys. They've been my friends for years. Anybody else that was curious about it, that's really it. And anything beyond that has nothing to do with me. And it never did. I never wanted anything to do with the business side of anything, of Retropalooza, of anything. It was always, I'm there to help the guys. So, and there's probably people that they don't understand that, or they don't believe that. And all I can tell you is you're wrong. I'm sorry, but that's all I was there for. But how could anybody do all that for basically, no, I did not care about that. It wasn't about, it's never been about money for me. It's never been about power. It's never been about this channel. Honestly, it's never been about any of that. It's always been about just helping those guys. So anyway, I hope that answers your question. And, yeah, I honestly miss both of them very much. That's it. I miss everything. And it's I mean, if you saw that video that Wood and I did, all I can say is that there are no lies in that video. It was all from the heart, and I didn't even want to make it. And I just hope that people understand that. So, anyway, either way, my goal was always to preserve the best of of the history of the Game Chasers. And if that meant that's all I'll say. I'll just leave it there because I feel like I'm about to go into territory that I probably should just it's not my business. It's not my business, and it never was, and it never needed to be. And I never wanted it to be. So anyway, I hope you have a Merry Christmas as well. Now, where the hell are we? Like I said, I never want anything but let's make another movie together. That's what I wanted. If you want to talk about being selfish or whatever, that's what I wanted. You know, and I wanted to help them get there so we could continue making movies for the rest of our lives. That's it. And it just turns out that one of us, that is what we did with him. And nobody expected that. And if there's sadness because of that, I get it. I totally get it. But that's it, I guess. I'll stop talking about that now because I feel like I'm going to get emotional. And if you saw that video with me and Wood, you know I am not a pretty crier. And I probably did enough crying on that video for years of videos. So hope you're doing okay. And I hope you understand. Another Skyrim release, and I bought it again because how much I love that game. You know what? Here's the thing, Ricky. I have it on Switch. So does that mean nothing for the Switch 2 version? I'm just curious because I don't know. Movie High Club. I think I answered your question last week. Who had better movies, Arnold or Stallone? Me personally, I have to pick Arnold. I think Stallone is probably overall a better actor, but I think Arnold has the better movies. I meant your friends and family. The promo only CDs. Gotcha. Yeah, they're very rare. I think I still have the edits because what I did was I took all of those songs and I made it into one like a super mix where it just there's no gaps in the tracks and it just flows into it. It wasn't that great. It was. Yeah. You saw Ghost Dog, great freaking movie. Hey, Grim Raider. I'm glad you enjoyed it. It is a fun one. It sounds like you need a director. Yes and no, maybe. We'll see. Because again, I don't want to go too far into all the stuff again. But Billy and I talked about that. And I'm not talking about, when he was in the hospital or anything like that. I'm talking about, we talked about co-directing the movie. And I said, no. It should be, it's my writing. It should be your directing. And he went from being completely not interested in even touching the film to getting so excited that he give me the script now and let me make some changes and make some directorial things. And then he ended up, like I said, changing the third act into something even better than what I had written. So yeah, we had a director, but the thing is now we have kind of a new script and a new ending. And I think with the right situation, I could direct it, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. We're nowhere even near. We're not in a place right now where we could make that movie. And I'm talking about we as in everyone. So we'll see what happens. Rob's not going to remember this moment, but he looks like De Niro when he was thumbnail demonstrating. I don't know. I'm liking Metroid Prime 4 a lot. Not quite as good as the others yet, at least, but it is fun. Jerome the Great, I felt the same way until I got to a certain boss, and I don't even remember what boss it is. But I was kind of just getting irritated with the way that things worked. Like I don't like the fact that like you lock on and it locks on to like the center of a boss, but you have to shoot up here and they're moving around so much. So you're trying to like ZL or you're trying to target, but then you're having to move the reticle. And I'm like, I don't like the way this is working. Now, granted, I was playing with the Pro controller instead of playing with the mouse controller. I hear the mouse controller is really, really good for those kinds of situations. I may need to try it again with the mouse version or mouse configuration of the Joy-Cons. But yeah, I mean, it's like it's really pretty and it's really good. But then I will say that I was watching Wood stream the other night, and he seemed very, very unhappy with a portion of the game that's kind of close to the end. That's really not great. But I haven't gotten there yet, so I can't really speak on that. Dr. Skelestein, welcome. Good to see you. What's up with you? What's up with you? And you know what? We're getting close. We're getting close. Hey, okay, here's the thing. We have 28 votes right now. All right. 43% banana cream, 32% the peanut butter crunch, the Captain Crunch peanut butter crunch liquid, and then 25% on the Apple Jacks. If you haven't voted, I'm going to give it like 10 more minutes. So if you want to vote, you got to vote now because it's about to go down. And I'm about to click the button so we can do the thing. So there you go. My only concern is, did you ever buy a bath mat we recommended so you don't slip out of the shower like that one time? Shozama, yes, I did. Yes, I did. And man, is it good. I mean, it's just a little bath mat. It's fine. But yeah, that was stupid. Basically, is the condensation and then the air or heat would blow directly down onto the floor. So it's getting all of that condensation and basically just throwing it all on the floor. And so when I step down, whoop, and then whoa, and then ow, you know what I mean? I don't know why I acted that out, but you get what I'm saying. So there you go. We did, and it's good. It's all good. Thank you, Shozama. You have short hands, Leon. Hey, I didn't see you there. I mean, I have small hands. I have little carny hands. Is that a bad thing to say now? Anyway, yeah, I have small hands, but not short hands. I mean, I guess it depends on no. I'm there to see you. When I get to that season, when you finally come out on that show, I'm still behind. Well, KP Senti, I mean, hey, here's the thing. I'm in it, but very briefly, and I'm not the focus, and I never wanted to be. In fact, I only did one or maybe two of the interview style segments, and it's just because it was like, why? I mean, I get it. And I know, Melvor was the same way. He didn't want to be on screen for a lot of it. But the thing is I don't feel comfortable coming in so late into the game and then all of a sudden being like, hey, I want to be on screen. No, I don't care. Never cared. Well, Rob, didn't you watch the show? No, I didn't. I really didn't. I watched a few episodes, like in the first season. That was it. Like, I think the last episode, and this is way back when I was sick and stuff. Way back. And I want to say it was just the first couple of episodes, and it's the episode where the Tigger suit. I watched the Tigger suit episode, and I'm like, haha, it's pretty funny. And then I stopped watching. And I'm like, yeah, those guys are just like, they're the same. They're the same. They're the same as they've always been. Cool. I don't know. Like I said, it's not my thing. But anyway. Rufus the Red, I hope you all had a rad holiday. And for you overseas folks, I hope you are well prepared for Christmas and Boxing Day. For those none of that applies to, hey, New Year's soon. Man, you covered all the bases. You covered all the bases. I'm so far behind now because I went on a Game Chasers diatribe. But I hope you guys understand. Okay? And I mean, I almost want to clip that out and just make that its own video and just go, hey, look, here's the deal. I don't, all the other stuff, the drama, whatever, it doesn't concern me. It's not me. I never had anything to do with that stuff. But anyway, who had better movies, Pacino or De Niro? Oh, God. Oh, that's so hard. You know how difficult that is? I'm just going to say this, and I know that this may be controversial, but I actually think that Robert De Niro had more range than Al Pacino. And I don't think De Niro, like Pacino won Best Supporting, right? For the Hoo-Ah, whatever that movie was. Scent of a Woman. He won for that, I believe. But I think De Niro actually has more range. He's played different parts. He's played different, almost like he doesn't mind being a supporting actor and then throwing everything into being a supporting actor. To me, that's one of those things that I just really love about De Niro. Like Jackie Brown. He puts in a pretty amazing performance in that. And it's very understated and very subtle, but very, very well done. So I'm going to say De Niro. But, hey, friends help friends. Nothing wrong with that. SGT, that's a lot of, is that you, Sega Steve? I think it is. I don't know. SGTACE, SGTACE, SGT, SG Tace. Welcome, and yes, sure. Yeah. I hope you had a rad holiday, Rufus. Hell of a ride for sure. Yeah, for sure. I don't do holidays, but I had a rad day off. Thanks, Bucho. Do you take book recommendations or like to receive books? I want to send you this cute teen fiction book. Okay, here's the thing. Just like my movie, like seriously, what is that? 20? I'm going to say 30 movies plus a series. My book list is just as long. So while I will always listen, I may not add it because my lists are so freaking huge now. So maybe I don't know. But I'm that guy, man. I'm that guy where I'm good. I'm good. I'll just say that. The people who don't believe that's possible are the same people who start to hound dog the guy who won the lottery or who suddenly built wealth. I've seen the flies buzz firsthand. Leave them alone. I mean, it's really just a matter of people not knowing and not knowing the situation. And especially with me, it sounds so weird. You mean you dropped everything to, Yeah, I did. I mean, that's pretty much what I did. But it's fine. It's whatever. I don't care. People, I mean, there have been so many more people that have, said nice things and really uplifting things to me than bad things. But that's the thing that confuses me is how do you just, I'm going to go on this channel and just be mean to this guy. Like, I don't get it. I don't understand it. But it's whatever. It's whatever. Yeah, I don't understand it. And it may just be that some people just love drama. But honestly, there's, at least with me, there's no ulterior motive. You could all, seriously, everybody that's ever watched my channel could unsubscribe from me. Cool. Whatever, man. YouTube is not what I care about. I mean, of course I care about you guys. I care about this channel. I care about the community that we built and all that stuff, but it was never the goal. The goal was always to have fun while I'm also working and building toward this other thing, which is making the next movie. That was always the goal. And I thought I was always clear about that, but then people were like questioning my motives, and I just don't get it. It's like, no, I don't. Well, let's see how many subscribers he gets out of this. I don't. You can all unsub if you want. I'm just that guy that I like to do this. You know, back when I only had 50 subscribers, I was still putting the same amount of effort, and that, I mean, I was not as good, but I was still putting the same amount of effort, you know, regardless. So, okay. We are, oh my gosh, we're so close, guys. 41% banana cream, 34% peanut butter, 25% Apple Jacks. I'm going to give it 5 more minutes. In fact, I'm going to start a timer. Where's the timer? Timer. 5 minutes. 6 minutes. 6 minutes. 6 minutes, guys. If you want to vote, vote now. If you haven't voted, then I don't know what to tell you. It's going to be your fault. Arnold equals the better Austrian accent. I mean, that's absolutely true. And Sly equals the better slur math. I mean, you're not wrong. You're on my list to make fan-made packaging. I will say, wait. Just wait. Oh my God, I was talking about director for you to take a pic of your thumbnail. I'm not sure what you're talking about. Talking about director for you to take a pic of your thumbnail. I don't know what that means. I'm so confused, but that's okay. Switch 2 version is higher resolution, even better stability and such, but you have to have bought the anniversary edition thing. If you did, then it's a free upgrade. Just install the Switch version. Okay. I have the Switch version installed. And yes, I'm always behind. That's the way this show works. Don't you know? Then go to the eShop and download the Switch 2 anniversary edition. Nice. Then I'm going to try it. I like the new controls, loving Metroid Prime 4. Yeah, it's like I said, it's just the thing. Who has better movies, Will Ferrell or Jim Carrey? I'm going to say Jim Carrey. I think Jim Carrey is, yeah, I think it's Jim Carrey. I completely forgot I have a Switch 2. I really love the lack of games. Interesting direction for Nintendo to take. I mean, Leon, you're not wrong. There's not a whole lot of great ones. And yes, Movie High Club is bringing it with the, hey, this or that. I like that. I like that. Have you or are you writing other scripts or stories? Grim Raider, that is the plan. I have many story ideas cooking. One of them is much further along than the others, and I'm very excited to get working on it. Now, Billy knew this story. I told him the basic story, and I said, "What do you think? Do you think I should write it as a novel or a screenplay?" And he said screenplay. But now that things have happened, unfortunately, his untimely demise, I'm thinking novel. And just because I can do that, and if it doesn't get any traction, then I can write it as a screenplay. It'd be easier to write the screenplay if the novel's done, because I have to do all the same things. I have to figure out the story beats. I have to figure out who all the characters are. I mean, I know most of the characters already, but I have to figure out all of those things already. So if I do all that and then I make it into a novel and something that I could, oh, I don't know, do an audiobook on my channel for it, that's a thing. And then go from there and we'll see what happens. But yes, I do have other ideas. Most of them are not in fact, even I would even say that Chuckleheads, which is the name of the script that I wrote and then Billy took and started writing, I would say even Chuckleheads is kind of like the Game Chaser universe, right? There was going to be like a Ghost Getters thing. There was going to be this. There was going to be that. All these kind of sub or like branching off ideas. Chuckleheads was always kind of adjacent to it. It had some of the same characters. It basically like Clerks and Mallrats, where you've got the Clerks universe, the View Askew universe, but the Mallrats was always kind of this side thing. Chuckleheads was a side thing. There were some of the same characters in it, but it wasn't going to be a direct sequel or prequel or anything like that. I hope that answers your question. But yes, I have many stories cooking up here in the old noggin. And like I said, one of them I'm really excited about. But it also kind of clues you in as to the kind of movies I've been watching, as to what the other ideas are. But anyway, see you working for that show and not actually watching gives me hope that I can work in movies and not watch movies. Well, I mean, it's all about your ability to do whatever your job is, and do that well and do it in a way that makes other people recognize your work ethic, but also you can get along with people. I mean, a lot of the just from what I saw working on one movie, okay, I'm no Ridley Scott, obviously, but man, it's one of those things. You just have to be easy to work with and be a good person and do your job. 30 seconds left on the clock. I mean, it looks like Banana Cream's gonna win. And that's fine. That's fine. I haven't tried it. I want to try it. So we got that many seconds. So there you go. But yeah, you can totally do that. But I mean, it also helps to have sort of movie knowledge. So, oops, I just started my camera. Didn't mean to do that. All right, that's it. I'm going to end the poll. And whatever the poll says, that's what we're doing. But no, you can totally do that. But see, you also have to think too, KP Senti. I was using movie knowledge that I had in the way that I was filming too. Because I was filming with the rule of thirds and trying to get dynamic shots and based on things that I'd seen in movies before. So, I mean, it all helps. What's really going on with WB Paramount? The big question, are aliens involved? Warehouse Dave? You may be onto something. It's good to see you, man. I'd like to get out to Florida again. We had a great time out there, didn't we? It was fun. I did one of those on-screen things. Not sure if I got put on the DVD release. Billy did send me a freeze frame of me making a very awkward face. Said I should make it my profile pic. Ass. I just sent it to you on Messenger. Do you want me to show this? Because, I'll show it. I think that's in the documentary, is it not? I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah, see, I had no problem being part of the movie special features because I was part of making the movie. But being part of Game Chasers, what's wrong with being a supporting actor? There's nothing wrong with being a supporting actor. But what I'm saying is, what I was trying to say between Pacino and De Niro is, Pacino seemed to always gravitate toward more of the leading roles. He took great delight showing me that freeze frame. Can I show it, Leon, or no? If you don't want me to show it, it's no big deal. But it is pretty funny. With De Niro, he was always that guy that he seemed to always give 100. And it's not to say that Pacino wouldn't give 100%. But Pacino also tried to, you know what I'm talking about? Pacino really played into that. I'm just going to yell a lot, and it was just like, okay, dude, like, do you have anything else? You got anything else there? I don't know. It's just a lot. So, Grim Raider, do you ever watch the last drive-in episodes with Joe Bob Briggs? He preaches about independent filmmakers. I hope you make your own movie, Rob. I don't think I've ever seen that. But here's the thing. I mean, no matter what happens, I got to make a movie. No matter what happens in the future, if I never get to make Chuckleheads and Chuckleheads completely is dead and never gets made in any way, shape, or form, I still got to make Adventures in Game Chasing. I still got to be a part of that, and I got to be a part of the editing process, the sound design, the sound editing, of course, script supervisor during production, but also was kind of co-directing in some cases. I got to really do a lot of what I would consider to be production, like actual producing. I was helping to make things happen. I was going to find things that they needed. And I mean, there was all kinds I drove in one part of the movie. So it's like, there's all kinds of things that I got to be a part of that no one can take away from me. Those experiences, no one can take away from me. So you know what? I feel like I did that. I get to be in it. I mean, it's a couple of short lines, but I get to be in it. I got to act. So it's like I've done all the things that, as far as making a movie, I got to do. Now, would I like to direct a full movie and then bring it to the finish line? Yeah, I'd love to. But if I never get to, it's fine, because I got to fulfill that dream while also helping them fulfill their dreams. I mean, that's great. And I love it. I love the fact I will champion this movie no matter what you think of it. I will champion that movie because it was made with passion. It was made with heart. Is it perfect? No, of course not. Nothing is. But I love it, and I'm proud of it, and I'm proud of Billy for what he did and what he was able to pull off. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful legacy that he leaves behind. So, and again, not just that, but the whole Game Chasers channel, all of that content. It's amazing. And I'm so proud of him, and I'm proud of that. I'm just proud of his work, and I'm glad that he trusted me enough to be part of it. So that's it. So if I never get to make Chuckleheads, I mean, it would be a shame, because Billy wanted to make that movie. He really wanted to make that movie. And if I could help, well, I would be a major part of it, no matter what. I would think. But yeah, I still want to make it in any way, shape, or form that I could. So OG said, there's Sega Steve. Okay, so I'm not sure who the other person was, but hey, it's fine. Hi, how's it going? Jealousy is a stinky cologne. Yes. Yes, it is. Someone to manually focus your face, a director. Oh, well, a director doesn't do that. A director tells the cameraman where to place the camera. The director doesn't actually work the camera. That's the cinematographer's job. And even then, the cinematographer is there to help get the lighting, especially like where the lighting is supposed to be, and basically move the camera, right? The focus puller is the one that's going to get you in focus. The focus puller, which is usually the assistant camera. Assistant camera 1. There's assistant camera 1, assistant camera 2. Assistant camera 1 would probably do that. Or that may just be their job. Focus puller. Like, They can sit there. They have a monitor with the grids. I don't know if you've seen that, where the grids, where it can show you what's in focus and what's not. And they have a dial that's hooked wirelessly to the camera, and they work the camera to get it in focus. So if, like, for example, those moves you've seen like in Jaws, right? Where the camera's moving in, but he's moving the zoom out. So it's got that weird kind of effect, right? That's dollying the camera forward as a focus puller is going the other way. It's a thing. So basically, that's probably too much. But yeah. Anyway. Had some minor fires to put out at home. Well, Jody B, I'm glad you're back. Who's a better director, James Cameron or George Lucas? Well, I think that's just for volume. James Cameron is a better director. And this is coming from somebody who loves George Lucas a great deal. George Lucas had a vision. I don't think he's the best director. James Cameron has proven time and time again that man can put together, man, he can direct. Amazing director. Now, I also think that he's not the best director. You know, I kind of feel like directors should be able to do the kind of job that James Cameron does, but do it in a way that, I don't know, doesn't make people walk off your set. That's the problem with James Cameron. He pisses people off because he wants things the way he wants them. Now, here's the thing. I have no clue about all of his current actors. Like on Avatar, no idea how he treats them. I just know the stories, the horror stories of how he treats people. He treated actors in the past, and he would rub people the wrong way. I don't know. I kind of feel like you kind of have to be a cheerleader in a way. You know, you have to be a friend, somebody that an actor can count on. Not, I'm walking off because this is demeaning to me as a person. That's a thing. I still absolutely love his movies. Even his not so great ones. Yeah, he's awesome. He's awesome. Rob, need your help. I just bought a 5-disc Blu-ray Blade Runner set at Goodwill for $3.99 that has every version of the movie ever released. What version should I watch? Oh my God. Okay. Is it your first time watching? If it's your first time watching, I would say go ahead and watch the final cut. If you've seen the older versions before or other versions of the movie before, watch a different version. Doesn't matter. Now, me personally, I have seen all 5 cuts. All 5 versions, 4 versions, 5 versions. So there's original, there's the work print, there's the director's cut. I thought there was another one and then a final cut. I might be wrong. There may be only be 4. I'll just say this. My preference is the final cut. But that's also because I've sat through multiple viewings of each. I love Blade Runner in any way, shape, or form. Oh, I prefer the voiceover version. Cool. I love it too. I prefer the work print because it's got all the weird scenes in it. Cool. Me too. Even though it doesn't look as great because it's in work print condition. Well, I like the director's cut with no voiceover. Cool. Me too. But I prefer the final cut because it's got all the finished effects and it's the definitive, it's Ridley's definitive version of the movie. Cool. I love it too. So it's really dependent upon you. I mean, I'm one of those people that, man, I'll any of it. All of it, any of it. Any movies you planning to see in the theater and review the rest of this month? Well, here's the thing. There is that movie Dust Bunny that I've talked about. It comes out this week. It's a limited number of theaters in the US. It is a movie directed by Brian Fuller, who was the showrunner of Hannibal. It's starring Mads Mikkelsen, David Dastmalchian, and Sigourney Weaver. The trailer, again, Dust Bunny. It looks batshit crazy, and I'm intrigued by it. I may go try to see that this weekend. It depends on a lot of factors because my niece is coming to stay with me this weekend with us. And so I need to make sure that we're all taken care of. But if she wants to go see it, then I'm down. I also really want to see Wake Up Dead Man on Friday. So not in the theater, but I'm gonna see that, and of course Avatar: Fire and Ash next week. I also want to see Marty Supreme that comes out Christmas Day. I don't know when I'm gonna be able to see it, but it's freaking Timothée Chalamet. He's one of my favorite actors working today. Timothée Chalamet, one of my favorite actors working today. Almost rhymes. You get what I'm saying. I love Timothée Chalamet. I'm not a huge fan of the Safdie brothers. I did not care for Uncut Gems. Never finished it because I don't like movies that make me feel that uncomfortable. The performances were great. I can admit that. It's too awkward, too weird. And from what I hear, this movie is another one of those kinds of movies where it's awkward. Still want to see it though. I still want to give it a shot. Best director's cut version of a movie you've seen. Absolutely Kingdom of Heaven. It completely changed the way the movie worked. And it added in so much great content. If you've never seen Kingdom of Heaven, I would recommend you seeking out either the 4K version that's out there for sale in different steelbook versions and regular 4K versions, or better yet, find it digitally, because it also includes all of the special features that's not included on the 4K disc or the 4K release. I would highly, 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 highly recommend that one. I love it so much. Kingdom of Heaven, I've watched it. It's one of those movies where there's been times, like, for example, I put it in to just see how good it looked and ended up watching the whole thing because it's one of those movies that I love it. I love it so much. Is Orlando Bloom an effective lead actor? Not really. Doesn't matter. I just love the way that it looks. I love the way that it's paced. I love the music. I love the way that story plays out. I love it so much. It's a version of a movie that was hated when it came out theatrically, and then people came around, watched the director's cut, and people said if this was what was released in theaters, it would have been Best Picture. So that's by far the best director's cut I've ever seen. I've never reviewed it on this channel, and I'm a Ridley Scott fanatic. I have the Ridley Scott Review-a-thon playlist on my channel, and I still haven't gotten to that movie yet. But I need to review it because I love it so much. I just meant in general, I remember being worried about that. If you're talking about working in movies, you don't have to, because you're going to learn stuff on the job, and there's going to be things that that you learn on the job that you could never learn in any school, because some of it is just so simple. But there you go. Holding it down. What up, brother? He took great delight in showing me that freeze frame. Sure, why not show everyone my sex face? Okay. There it is. There's Leon's face. Okay, I won't send that other picture that you sent. But hey, man, banana cream one, everybody. You guys picked it, so let's get going. And well, first we got to do off the nut, don't we? Yeah, we do. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'll just tell you. Just smelling it, it smells like banana pudding. I don't know if that's what they're going for, but that's what it smells like. Wow. Okay. This could be an all-timer, guys. This could be a if it's as good vaping. Oh, I guess I should show you. I already did that side. If this is as good vaping as it is off the nuck, this could be a liquid I just have to keep. I have to keep on hand because that is amazing. Amazing. Oh, when I rewicked and put it on this mod, I hadn't actually done the thing. I had to click the button. Okay. I mean, it smells. What it smells like is it does smell like banana pudding, but it almost smells like Have you ever had caramelized banana? That's what it smells like. It smells amazing. So good. So we'll see. We'll see how this goes. All right. Fill it up, tank. Get in there. All right. Top on. Easy. All right. Always a pleasure to talk to the top Genesis guru. I mean, Johnny Flip Switch. I'm sorry, I'm so behind. But welcome and good to see you. Okay, I need some water. I need some. Hey, need some. Oh crap. My Streamlabs isn't even logged in. No, I don't want notifications from you. I want you to freaking update, is what I want, you jackass. Man, Streamlabs is. Okay. Oh, come on, man. And now it's making me log in again. That's not right. That's not going to be right. Come on. Oh. Sean420 just subscribed. Hey, thanks for that subscription. I didn't know what it was, but thank you. Okay. How do I describe this? How do I describe this? It's like a heated up banana, so it's got a richer, deeper flavor than just banana. So many times when if you put heat or marks on a fruit, you know how you get that caramelized whatever, that was it the Maillard reaction or whatever, and it just deepens the flavor, and it's very good. It's a real banana. It's not a fake banana flavor. Like a lot of times you get like when sometimes some liquids, if it's banana flavored, it'll taste like banana runts, and that can be good, but it can also be cloying and just bleh. This is a real banana, a deep banana flavor with and it's got a creamy element, but it tastes like vanilla wafers to me. So it tastes exactly like a banana pudding to me. Okay. Yeah. Here's the funny thing. So when I clean these tanks out, I clean it out with soap. A lot of times when you vape through your nose, you get different flavors. So I was hoping I'd get a deeper. I need to turn the fan back up. Turn up. It's funny, I still have Velcro on the bottom of my remote because I had it under my desk. That was my old desk. I don't have any Velcro on this desk. So it just sits on top of the desk. Anyway, yeah, okay. So anyway, clean it out with soap, and if you don't clean it out well enough, your first few vapes will taste like soap mixed with a liquid, and it doesn't taste good. So I didn't taste the soap when I was just regular vaping, but when I did it through the nose, it tasted like soap. It still kind of does. but it is a banana. It tastes like banana pudding to me. This is an absolute winner. Um, this is I'm gonna say it. This is better than any banana cream flavor that I've had since there was an old company called I don't think they're around anymore, called Adore E-Liquids, and they made a flavor called Banana Bondage. Hmm. Anyway, that flavor was badass, completely badass. The problem with that company is that apparently they were mixing it in their basement, and someone took some photos and video of the basement, and it was not sanitary, and it basically killed the company. This tastes as close as I've ever had to what that used to taste like, which was awesome. This has a really rich, deep vanilla flavor, and it's great. It's very, it's, it tastes like banana pudding. It's great. It almost tastes like it's not wicking correctly. So what I'm gonna do is close off the airflow, draw on it, and bubbles will. You see those bubbles come up? It basically over wicks it a little bit, makes it a little more saturated. Yes. I'm attending at least one Retropalooza and hopefully Greg Honeycutt's convention this year. Missed you at Really Rad Weekend. I know, man. I know. Uh, I'm not sure when that was, but it's actually been a while since I've been there. I've only been there the wait. I can't remember if I've been to two or not. I really liked Really Rad Weekend though. I think yeah, they do a great. You guys do a great job out there. So, which movie was better, Terminator 1 or RoboCop 1? That's almost impossible, dude. I own both of them on 4K. I love them both. I think the world building in Terminator is amazing. The satire in RoboCop is amazing. That's so tough. Now, if you're asking me which movie did I watch the most, probably RoboCop, but that doesn't mean it's a better movie. That's like, man, that's hard, dude. That is really hard. God, man, what a hard question. Because here's the thing. I think I enjoy Terminator more as a film, like all aspects of the film, the acting, the way it's directed, the editing, the music. Uh, but RoboCop has it can be enjoyed straight, but it can also be enjoyed as a satire, and that man that has a lot going for it. But Terminator set up a whole universe and a whole franchise. That's really tough, man. That's really tough. And I love that movie, Rob. I know you do. I know you do. RoboCop won by an inch. Man, it's tough. That's like, man, that's a Sophie's choice if I ever heard one. Terminator and RoboCop are both classics, absolute classics of the genre. But again, RoboCop, man, it's the fact that it can be just like Starship Troopers, Paul Verhoeven, man. It's the fact that it can be enjoyed on multiple levels is even better. Like but man, Terminator is so deep with lore and just it's so like God, it's so good. Man, that's tough. I'm gonna say that my favorite's Terminator, but I think RoboCop might be the better overall film. It's tough though, man. That's I mean, how can you pick? How can you pick? Holy crap, I'm so far behind. All right, we're gonna get caught up because we got news to do. I've seen Adventures in Game Chasing about 20 times. It's still just as great as the first time Johnny flip switch. That means so much to hear you say that. Now I know that in a lot of ways, I feel like the movie was made for the retro gaming scene. What I tried to do and what I tried to inject into it is sometimes when you, and I've talked about this before, but sometimes when you focus in on something, it makes it universal. And it's actually, that's what's really cool about that freaking, the BBC Maestro. Alan Moore has said the same, it's basically the same thing. Sometimes when you focus in and you get specific, it becomes universal and people can relate to it, even if they're not into that specific thing, or if they're not, like, you might talk about an experience you had, and you talking about that experience can still feel universal because people can go, okay, I've never had that quite that experience, but I get it and I understand it. And it's, so that's what I wanted to try to inject into it, is to make it a little more universal. I honestly don't think that it is as universal as I would have liked, but it wasn't my movie. I was trying to help them along the way and give them some suggestions that could make it a little more broad, as far as, like, you know, audience wise. And I think in some ways we succeeded. I still don't think it's as universal as it could have been, but like, I can't even tell you what I would change at this moment, you know. But like, the thing about Chuckleheads is that it is a lot more universal. It's a story. It's basically like, my pitch would be, if you had the chance to make your dreams happen, would you have the courage to make it happen? And that's what that story's about. That doesn't tell you anything, does it? But it's a universal truth, and it's a universal thing, and it's a thing that I think a lot of people from multiple, and that's the thing too, is I didn't want it to just be like when I was writing it, going, okay, I'm this old. I'm 49 now, but you know, I wrote it 2.5 years ago. I'm this old, and there are things that I want to do with my life. What can I do to make those things happen? But I wanted to make it where anybody at any age level could relate to it, because we all have some of the same things in the way, you know, for making those things happen, making your dreams happen. And that's what the movie's about. So hopefully, like I said, hopefully we get to make it someday, because I think it could be really cool. The behind the scenes I watched must have been hella low budget, because I saw the director use the camera for a few times. Depends on the movie, depends on how big the budget is, and there were a lot of cases in Ridley Scott's career, he was the camera operator. He didn't trust anybody to get the shots that he wanted. So he didn't have the experience, or maybe he might argue with this, but I think in a lot of ways he couldn't give control over. So he wanted to be the guy operating the camera. So it depends. It depends. On most features, big Hollywood features, the director doesn't touch the camera. You know, and in some cases the director doesn't even know what lens would be the best for this situation or whatever. Some directors can tell you, I want it to be on this lens, and I want it to look like this. I want it to be on this f-stop. I want it to be, you know, all that stuff. I want it to look underexposed or overexposed or whatever. And I want this light to cascade down and look like this. Some directors know exactly what they want. And then some are more like, here's the scene. This is how I want it to be set up. Make it happen. And they just let it happen. It depends on the director, which is cool. Or you were on a Steven Soderbergh movie. Yeah. Soderbergh does his own camera much of the time. Yeah. Was watching Goonies last night. Didn't know Lucas and Spielberg were execs on that. Oh, hell yeah. Oh, yeah. I don't know if he co-wrote it, Goonies, but I know he was very involved. He was on the set a lot. I don't think Lucas was on set a ton, but he was definitely part of it. One time me and Jim Cameron got in a fight. He was treating me like a piece of crap, so I punched him in the mouth. Wow, Bonobo Juice. Man, you're something else. I like the black and white version of the movie The Mist. It makes it seem like an old 50s horror movie. Yes, Johnny Flip Switch. I have that too. In fact, I think I have 2 copies of The Mist. I do. I have 2 copies of The Mist. I have one that came with the Stephen King collection that I got from Australia. I know. Honestly, not one of my wiser purchase. Ow. I just bit the inside of my cheek. That hurt. Not one of my wiser purchases, because almost all those movies are either movies I don't like or movies that I hadn't seen and didn't like. But I do have the original black and white version, the version that comes with 2 versions of The Mist, and then I have the version that came with that Australian set. So, but yeah, I like it too. That's a blasting face. Leon banana creamed in that picture. I mean, and banana pudding is the best pudding. It is. Sean, that's your PlayStation. And no THC. This is nicotine vaping all the way. Nicotine vaping. I'm not a THC vapor. Number one, it's not illegal in Texas. And number two, I couldn't do the show if I was on THC. Just couldn't. Check Discord general. Uh-oh. Interesting. Interesting that you would screenshot those pics. Thanks, Ricky. Appreciate it. Maillard reaction. Unless you're cooking duck, then it's the Mallard reaction. That's true. That is true. Strawberry and banana is great. Yeah, I do have a lot of strawberry vapes. I'm a big strawberry vape guy, but a good banana vape every now and then hits the spot. And like I said, it's a deep banana flavor. It's not just, when you take a bite of banana, it's good. I love banana. But man, when you got it like cooked down a little bit, man, or browned, oh my gosh, it's so good. Or bruleed, oh my gosh. You're saying RoboCop, Sean? I mean, I don't blame you. I don't blame you. Why did you do that to him? You broke his mind. Yeah, that was a tough one. I'm just gonna say it. The time travel element too. I mean, it's amazing movie. It's an amazing movie. Check Discord AI images as well. Oh crap. Oh crap. Okay. I mean, that's not quite Star Wars. I mean, it's pretty close. I don't think that's how you drive an AT-AT, but oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, man. Dude, I gotta put these on a oh my god, dude. Oh. Oh. Dude, there's so many. Oh god. Okay, the last one is actually that's actually pretty cool. Dude, that's actually pretty cool. I mean, I don't know why it looks like there's a freaking like a cyclone in my crotch. Like, why are my pants so tight right there? There's a lot of tightness in those in the crotch area. But still, really cool. And look, I don't know why that's the first place I looked. Okay, but those are amazing. Easy. Terminator doesn't take place in Detroit. I mean, Vorn? Missed opportunity to name yourself Order 66 show. Is it because you're 42? Well, here's the thing. if I just say that I'm the Order 66 show, then it makes it sound like I'm just about Star Wars. But if I say I'm the Order 42 show, it means that I could be about Star Wars, but it could also mean that I could be about the Hitchhiker's Guide. That's why I didn't want it to be anything strictly Star Wars, but I wanted a Star Wars element in there because I mean, obviously I'm a Star Wars fan. I mean, you can't see everything, but man, there's so much Star Wars up there. It's stupid. It's dumb. So much Star Wars stuff in this house. But no, I'm not 42. I'm 49. But I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Terminator RoboCop sequels, Terminator by a mile. Yeah, I have to agree there. Termy has a lot of great moments while Robo has no break in the flow of story and attention holding. I mean, there you go. It's tough. My daughter knows nothing about gaming. She loves the movie. That's what we wanted. Is we wanted people that didn't know anything about or didn't have that same attachment to the, to the old systems to still love the movie. So that's awesome. I appreciate that, Johnny. Thank you. Because again, it's not my movie, but I helped make it. And I was so integral to the post-production side of it that I'm really proud of it. And I'm just, again, I said it before. I said it on I don't know if I said it on the Blu-ray. I think I did, but I'm just so proud of the work that Billy did on that. It's absolutely fantastic. I thought we made a good movie. I felt like at the end of filming, I felt like we had a good movie, but man, he made it so much more. And of course, all the reshoots. I was there for almost every set of reshoots that we did too, helping with that stuff. I mean, it's my hand throwing the dice at the end. I walk by in one segment when there's so many things that I had my hand on or in that it was just, I feel like it's part of my movie. It's partly my movie too, but it's not. It's Billy's. But I'm proud of it, and I'm proud of him, and I'm proud of the movie, and there you go. So thank you for saying that. It really means a lot to me to hear that. And to hear that people continue to enjoy it. That's amazing. And hey, it's available on Tubi for free. If you want to watch it with ads, you can watch Adventures in Game Chasing right now on Tubi. Just do a search or look in the description. It's in every description of every video going forward. Well, I should have just had it in there to begin with, but you can also purchase it for probably not that much on Amazon and on through Apple TV, iTunes, whatever. Yeah. So there you go. Kubrick operated the camera a lot as well. I mean, I think all big directors have worked the camera at certain segments. I think there were sections in I think in Planet Terror and Death Proof, I think depending on who the director was, the other was helping shoot it. And sometimes like Quentin was filming, operating the camera when Robert Rodriguez was directing and vice versa. So I find that, I mean, all that stuff is interesting to me, and it's filming a lot like I did with Game Chasers gave me greater appreciation for camera operators because it's difficult to hold shots for a long period of time. And especially like I was just holding their camera and that was difficult. I can't imagine one of these big, huge, like the work that Peter did on Adventures is amazing stuff. The thing I watched, everyone was kind of doing multiple jobs from supporting actor, boom operators, slate scripter. Exactly. Right. And when you get on a low budget movie, everybody kind of has multiple hats that they're going to wear on different days, So you've been watching Game Chasers since 2010. Wow. Well, Sean, I know Billy would have appreciated hearing that, and I appreciate hearing that too. So thank you. Thank you for that. That is low budget then, KP Senti. Departments stick to their own stuff. We have separate unions and everything. Yeah. When you get to the big boys, yeah, everything's very, very segmented and separated out. And it's something that I've learned a lot from talking with Leon and Jody B too. RoboCop is the best one. See, a lot of people saying RoboCop. What the F? I thought you were 39. No, I am 49. Don't I look youthful for 49? I think it's going to all catch up to me at once. And I'm just suddenly going to look, holy crap, you're old. I mean, I'm pretty, you know. The ASCII version of the number 42 is the asterisk, a wildcard symbol meaning anything or everything, suggesting life's meaning is flexible. I mean, that makes sense because, you know, a lot of nerds know the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. So, Rob, don't crack. Rob is beautiful. I mean, hey, whoa. You better keep moisturizing and sunblock. I mean, that helps a lot. And the fact that I, you know, quit smoking 9 years ago. I think 2016 was the last cigarette I had. And I don't drink. So. Dude, banana cream, guys. You guys chose a banger. This one's awesome. Now I'm just hoping that these are going to be good, you know, too, when we get to those. So, and hopefully, I have enough liquids to do another one next week. Hopefully I can get through one of my other vape devices because this makes 6. And I have, what do you call it? Okay. You see that bubble? That's a bubble tank. Oh, God. So some tanks have a straight glass like that. That is a really expensive tank, by the way. That tank, I think, was... This is made... There, very few of these were made in... You know, these aren't Chinese made. This is a Greek made tank. And it was, I want to say it was 160. And it vapes no better than this one made in China that was $30. So yeah, for a while there, I was hunting after these really, really hard to find, very expensive tanks. But the whole reason I brought this up is because you see that's a straight glass. This is a bubble glass. Well, on my favorite tank, which is the intake dual, I broke the glass and it was the last glass I had. So I ordered 10 replacement glasses from China. I hope, number 1, that they actually get here. Number 2, they actually fit. So we'll see. Is that the CNC tank? No, this is the Typhoon GT4, which actually says it right there at the bottom. GT4. And I don't even know if this one's still available to buy. There for a while, I was buying some high-end vape stuff. Like the most expensive thing I spent was probably $500, which is stupid for a little vape thing. It's dumb. I don't do that anymore. You know, this whole setup probably cost, I don't know, $60-$70. I don't know. So. Do you remember the big hit with Mark Wahlberg? There was one dude in that movie who was always looking for lotion, but he wanted something with lanolin, not that aloe vera bullshit. Yes, I remember the movie. I did not like it. But I do remember the movie. I got a disposable today that has Bitcoin logos on the screen. I was bamboozled. Yeah. Look at me spending like $250 on the Hammer of God. I mean, again, that's the thing. I say if you want it, buy it. But I'm that guy that I don't spend that kind of money anymore on vape stuff. It just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Now, I did spend, it's in there. I did spend $60 on an RDA. So a dripping atomizer, not a tank. It's basically the same thing except there's no tank. It's just dropped to the bottom and you have to fill it up. It's kind of like the manual of vaping. I love it. I don't know if it's worth $60. You know, 60, 70. I don't remember how much it was. But anyway, yeah. All right, I think it's news time. So let's really quickly go through. Oh, I want to bring this up. I didn't mention this last week, but I actually finally finished True Noir, which is a I've talked about this before, but this is a radio drama or an audio drama written by Max Allan Collins, who wrote The Road to Perdition, which I can't highlight because that's a picture. But Max Allan Collins is a writer, and he writes a bunch of noir stuff. He wrote some Mickey Spillane stuff. He actually is already written and is releasing next month a sequel to The Maltese Falcon called Return of the Maltese Falcon. And he was actually waiting for the Maltese Falcon to go into the, what do you call it? The rights, when the rights free up. I can't remember the term. But anyway, he wrote True Noir, the assassination of Anton Cermak, and Michael Rosenbaum is Nathan Heller. And you've got, dude, there's so many big name actors. I mean, maybe not big name, but actors you know in True Noir. David Strathairn is in it. Anthony LaPaglia is in it. Katie Sackhoff is in it. It's great. If you like noir type stories, it's all audio, and this was actually done by Robert Meyer Burnett, who I know I'm kind of a Robert Meyer Burnett shill. Hashtag not sponsored, but I do like Robert Meyer Burnett. Anyway, he directed all of this. And then they edited it in stereo and in 5.1. And in 5.1, it's kind of awesome. So it is a thing. I did finally listen to the whole thing, finished it off. It's 10 episodes. Does it say? Oh, there's your cast. Adam Arkin, Curtis Armstrong, Barry Bostwick, PJ Byrne, Chris Carr, Jeffrey Combs, Devin Conrad. See, some of these people you may not know, but C. Thomas Howell is in it. And then going down, like I know who Patton Oswalt is. Vincent Pastore was in The Sopranos. Katie Sackhoff, William Sadler, who was in Shawshank Redemption. I mean, he was the bad guy in Die Hard 2. He played Death in Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey. He's in it. It's just good. It's just really good. I really enjoyed it. And if you're interested, yeah, it's $29.95 for the thing. I backed it on Kickstarter because I thought it was a cool idea. And yeah, I love The Road to Perdition. So I said, let's give it a shot. Yeah, Curtis Armstrong is Booger. Absolutely, Brad. Absolute public domain. Thank you. That is the term. But yeah, that's the thing, Ricky. It lasts longer, but it vapes exactly the same. There's nothing different. So what do you do or look at while you're listening in surround? You don't. You just listen. It's a radio drama. It's like the old radio dramas where you just listen to things. You didn't see anything and everything. It's almost like a really well done audiobook. But it's done in chapters, and it's really cool. And honestly, I may look at doing something like that someday because I think it's really, really cool. If one doesn't know Barry Bostwick, something is wrong with one. Oh, I met you personally, so you're just doing this to the wall? No, I was listening to this on the plane to and from Philadelphia. I was listening to it with my headphones, and I would just sit there and listen to it, close my eyes, and the sound design is so good. Things sound like somebody shoots. You hear the gunshot over here, and then you hear the gun hit on the left side. So it's just, or the bullet hit. You know what I mean? It's just really cool. And it's kind of an immersive thing, and it's just cool. I used to stream playing video games and listen to the old AF radio drama from the radio. Yeah, I think it's cool. So it's a thing. And like I said, I'm not sponsored by him or anything. I just like it. And apparently there may be a sequel to True Noir and maybe possibly a live action version of it. So we'll see what happens. So let's talk about it. So we knew that Netflix had won the bid for Warner Brothers, but now Paramount has launched a hostile takeover for Warner Brothers. 82.7 million is what Netflix was going to pay for for Warner Brothers, the studio, and HBO Max. and HBO, you know. But the whole thing is Netflix wanted Netflix wants them split. So we had talked about this previously on this here channel, that Warner Brothers plan was to split off all of their Discovery channels, the what they would call the, you know, the, well, it's all the channels, that Food Network and CNN and the Discovery Channel and all that, that would be split off from the studios slash HBO Max or HBO. And so there would be two companies and they would both be for sale. Now, of course, Paramount really kind of jumped the gun and started bidding on it. And it started putting this thing faster, or making this whole thing faster than Warner Brothers had originally wanted it to be, or Warner Brothers Discovery, I should say. So Netflix won the bid. There were 2 weeks of bids, and it's basically the second week was, okay, everybody get in your bids. And these are binding bids. So whatever you bid, you're binding it. You're saying, we want to spend this much money for this. Netflix won that bid, and so Netflix was going to basically purchase Warner Brothers Discovery at that time, or Warner Brothers and HBO Max at that time. Their whole stipulation is, like I said, the company would be split. The channels would go one way, Warner Brothers and HBO Max on the other. Paramount wants everything. And so Paramount has offered $108 billion for everything. And what they're doing now is they didn't win the bid, which means they didn't bid this originally. So what they're trying to do is the hostile takeover, which basically means they're going to go directly to the shareholders and say, this is what we're offering. And if that's the case, then they can get the shareholders on board. Basically, the chairman, the CEO, and all of them would be replaced, which would then, that's what a hostile takeover is, which would mean that Warner Brothers would then be owned by Paramount, basically through force. So here's the thing. Warner Brothers doesn't want to do that. So David Ellison, the guy on the left, that's Zaslav on the right. It is David Ellison and David Zaslav, isn't it? Anyway, Zaslav is the head of Warner Brothers Discovery right now. Ellison is the head of Paramount / Skydance. He was the head of Skydance. They purchased Paramount. And now, without even releasing a movie over on Paramount, he wants to have all of Warner Brothers too. Okay? So, there's a lot of problems here. Number one, Netflix is never been in the movie industry before, really. They've always looked at movies as content, not art. If you look at the number of movies that have been released through Netflix and you look at how many of them are actually good, the ratio is not great. It's just not great. And it's because Netflix, in a lot of ways, Netflix works off of algorithms instead of art. So they're basically saying, okay, we need this to happen. We need this to happen. We need this to happen. We need to get these stars in here. We're going to pay a lot of money to make this happen. And then we're going to put it out. We're going to crap this movie out and see what happens. And they end up not being great. So you have a movie like The Gray Man, starring Chris Evans, Ryan Gosling, as basically hitmen. And it sounds awesome. And you watch it and you go, that was just blah. There's just nothing to it. Then there was that movie, the Chris Pratt and Millie Bobby Brown movie. I don't even remember the name of the movie. I didn't watch it because I heard it was crap. But that's another one. It was like over $300 million budget. And it's just one of those things where they just don't make good movies. And then on top of that, you get really, really good filmmakers like Rian Johnson and like Guillermo del Toro. They will release their movies in theaters, but guess what? Netflix has pissed off the entire theatrical industry, so none of the major chains want to carry Netflix movies in their theaters. So what happens is you can only find these at the smaller locally owned chains or the smaller theaters, like one-off theaters here and there. That's why Wake Up Dead Man should be an absolute, from what I've heard, is a great film. Like, like really, really fantastic, an amazing cast, a great movie, and nobody's going to see it because it's not in the big theater chains. So now it's going to drop on Netflix this Friday to what? What money are they going to make from? They might get, I don't know, a few people to sign up to Netflix to only watch Wake Up Dead Man. But the thing is, from a box office standpoint, it just doesn't make sense. So here's the funny thing. We've all been kind of sitting there going, well, if Netflix buys them and they just make all the Warner Brothers movies direct to Netflix, this is going to be terrible. And then on top of that, things like the Warner Archive, physical media. Netflix would kill the physical media division of Warner, and we wouldn't have physical media from Warner anymore. But ever since this hostile takeover thing, look here, Ted Sarandos has some things to say. Number one, we're super confident that we're going to be able to close this deal. And they say that the merger will actually protect jobs in the entertainment industry. They went on to say this. This is Sarandos saying this. We didn't buy this company to destroy that value, meaning theatrical exhibition. We're deeply committed to releasing Warner Brothers movies exactly the way they release those movies today. I still don't believe him. I don't know. To me, this feels very political. This feels, because a lot of Hollywood is very, very angry right now. They do not want Netflix to buy Warner Brothers because of the way Netflix has treated their filmmakers. So David Fincher's movies didn't get wide theatrical releases. Rian Johnson's movies, Glass Onion and Wake Up Dead Man, didn't get wide theatrical releases. And of course, Frankenstein, Guillermo del Toro's film, recently didn't get a large theatrical release. So guess what? They're not making money on that. So it's one of those weird things where I look at this and I go, I want to believe you, but nothing you've done in the past has made me think that you have any care for theatrical movies. Now, again, I teased this earlier. The Dre dossier, not Dr. Dre, Drey dossier. I actually retweeted it from my Order 42 Twitter account. She basically said that when Paramount, or when Skydance, which was owned by the Ellisons, bought Paramount, they had set up, within days of them announcing that they're purchasing Paramount, they set up these companies, these different companies to do this. They did this again just the other day. But here's the thing that scares me. We talked about Warner Brothers Discovery taking the regular channels and putting them over here on this company, and then Warner Brothers the studio and HBO Max on this company. Netflix has already agreed to buy this. But no one said anything about this before. No one said anything about wanting this. But here's the interesting thing. If the Ellisons buy all of that, they will also own CNN, which could influence the primaries next year. Because apparently 2026 is going to be a big political year. Now, the funny thing is, they weren't expecting to be able to make this split until 6-8 months from now, which would be way outside the first primaries for the election. But they're thinking that they're doing this now to try to force Warner Brothers Discovery to go ahead and make that split, so then they could come in and buy that. So here's the funny thing. This feels a lot like the last presidential election, where, at least in my opinion, it was hard to choose, because it's like, okay, this is a problem over here, but this is a problem over here. Now it seems like Paramount, the Ellisons, are really, they're really going to go after those channels. And that's scary. That's scary for somebody with so much power, media power. So I don't know. I don't know. The whole situation is just like, it's yucky to me because I feel like Warner Brothers should stay its own thing and it shouldn't be anything. It shouldn't be anything. So, yeah, it's a scary thing if you're a fan of Warner Brothers, and I am. I have been a champion of Warner Brothers, uh, and not like, sold or I mean, it's not like they've been paying me. I've just been a fan of Warner Brothers as a studio because ever since I really got into movies, Warner Brothers was the studio that liked to take risks, that were taking the risks on artistic endeavors, that were saying, hey, we're going to continue making big budget movies, but we're also going to focus more on some of these lower budget films. If you look at their track record this last year, they've had they had what, 6 or 7, I can't remember what the term is, or what the record was, but they broke the record for the number of consecutive released movies from a studio that was number one at the box office. And that's kind of nuts. And some of them were very, very moderately budgeted and they made a ton of money. So it's just one of those things where you look at Warner Bros. And of course, in the DVD days, Warner Brothers was one of the big proponents for DVD. They kind of lost me a little bit when they were doing the Blu-ray versus HD DVD wars back in the day. This is back when, I was a Blockbuster and all that kind of stuff was happening. But the thing is they never really took a side. They were releasing Blu-rays and DVD and HD DVDs at the same time. So they were straddling the whole situation. But I always loved the fact that they seem to always care about the presentation and special features and all that kind of stuff. And then lately, as I've said, the Warner Archive has been insane. George Feldenstein, I don't remember his name. I think that's his name though. The head of Warner Archive has been doing fantastic work over the last few years, restoring and preserving history, film history, things like these. I mean, I have many more of these because, well, I've never seen them and I want to watch them. But these movies, these movies look fantastic. They've been remastered and restored and all that kind of stuff. They're doing insanely good work over at Warner Archive. So yeah, from a selfish point of view, I want that stuff to keep going, and I want it to happen. I want Warner Archive to stay Warner Archive, and I want them to continue to be able to take care of movie history the way that they do. I dropped both of those, and only one Blu-ray popped out. Anyway, so that's a thing. Okay, let me get caught up and then we'll get back to the news. Yeah, what the F, Paramount? I mean, honestly, it's very strange because Paramount basically said, okay, we lost the bid, but now we're just going to try to force our way in. And the whole thing is they're going to be in so much debt to try to make that happen. But again, I think their plan may be that they just want to buy the channels, which is, I feel like this something like this happened to another entertainment company like a year ago. Well, I mean, of course, the Bethesda thing from Xbox, but I think the biggest one was 20th Century Fox at the time being purchased by Disney, and Comcast actually was, it was kind of like we don't really want it, but we're going to keep putting the offer up so Disney has to pay more for it. That's what they did. And apparently Comcast Universal was also an interested buyer of Warner Brothers, and they didn't win the bid. And the one, I guess, entity that I wanted to win, or I wanted to buy Warner Brothers if it was going to happen, would be Apple. Because Apple has already been teaming with Warner Brothers for their releases. F1 is an Apple original film distributed by Warner Brothers. So they already had, and Apple is also committed to theatrical releases. So it's one of those things where it's like, hey, they've already been working together and they've done some really great work together already. So why not? But apparently Apple decided they didn't want it. So it's one of those things. Save your VHS tapes. I mean, I don't have VHS anymore. I got rid of all my VHS back in the day. Yeah, my Blu-ray, I mean, I have a lot of Blu-rays and a lot of 4Ks. It is confusing. It is very confusing, but it's the thing is what matters is that Warner Brothers is being sold. And we're going to have to wait and see how this shakes out. Of course, the other thing is that Paramount, the Ellisons are very close, supposedly to Trump, and that, but then there's been weird things where everybody is they're saying things, but then they are doing something different. Of course, it was just a couple of months ago that Ted Sarandos said, we have no interest in the theatrical business. We have no interest in legacy media, which it would be, the catalog of Warner Brothers. And yet they just put up $82 million and now is saying, oh yeah, we're committed to the theatrical, Warner Brothers can continue to release their movies just like they always have. Okay, we'll see. So yeah. DC animated flicks are top notch. Yes, they are, Rufus. They are very good. Yes. And I think a lot of times, like me personally, I worked at Blockbuster, so of course, and then also Billy bought me that Blockbuster sign that lights up. It's really cool. But it's one of those things where I do miss Blockbuster, but I also miss any video store. I miss going in and just looking at videos. It's fun. Are those standard definition movies on Blu-ray? 1080p, yes. Wow, what a difference. Blockbuster Video. Activision Blizzard for Microsoft, yeah. That was huge. And Carbonite. Welcome, Carbonite. Good to see you, sir. It's been a while. Microsoft ruined Activision. I mean, yeah. I don't know. I was thinking of Hybe and Kakao trying to take over SM Entertainment, different side of the world and agencies. Oh, yeah. Here's the thing. Somebody was asking about the different presentations between, like, because I went and watched the whole Bloody Affair review on my channel. And they were talking about, because I watched it I watched digital XD I was at the XD screen. Or no, I wasn't. I was just on a regular screen. It was a digital presentation, but there were also screenings of Kill Bill, The Whole Bloody Affair in 35 millimeter and 70 millimeter. In theory, 35 millimeter is somewhere, as far as if you were trying to translate 35 millimeter straight over to try to pixelate it, it would be somewhere, it would fall somewhere between 4K and 5K. Now, if you say 35 millimeter is, let's just say it's this big, but then 70 millimeter is twice as big and twice as tall. So that's about 4 times. It's kind of the difference between 1080p and 4K, which is 4 times the resolution of 1080p. So you're talking about 4 times the quality of anyway. So that's just one of those things. 70 millimeter. I've never seen a movie projected in 70. I want to really bad. I want to see Lawrence of Arabia in 70 millimeter because I gotta. So if I can find a 70 millimeter theater in my area, which the thing is there's something about the way that it's projected that it's not quite 70 millimeter at the IMAX that's on Webb Chapel in Dallas, which is where when they were showing Mission Impossible in IMAX and Tom Cruise showed up. That theater, in fact, that one I didn't go see. I did see Civil War in IMAX there, and it was pretty impressive and kind of neat. But those seats, IMAX seats suck so bad. But these are probably shot on 35 millimeter. I don't know that for sure, but probably 35 millimeter, and then scanned in at a very, very high resolution and then put on Blu-ray. And the reason they put them on Blu-ray and not 4K is because that would cost a lot more. And they can at least have the 4K masters of what they scan in, but they can release it on Blu-ray in a set like that and charge $50-$60 for it, and everybody's happy. preserved, all those things. So they look great. They look amazing. No, 480i and P are DVD quality. Yes, 480p is DVD, and then 1080p is technically 4 times. Isn't that right? It's 4 times the. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I heard someone sold Batman. I'm concerned. It's not that they've sold. Nothing's actually happened yet. It doesn't mean. It also doesn't mean that suddenly Netflix properties are going to show up in Warner Brothers properties. At least not yet. But who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? All they've said is basically Warner Brothers will continue to do what Warner Brothers does. But what that also means is that, and they've also said that HBO Max will remain a separate service. So I'm not quite sure what the purpose of all that is yet. And I think more than anything, they're trying to alleviate, because there's a group of, I put it on Twitter or on Discord, that the DGA, the Directors Guild of America, which I think, and I think I read that Christopher Nolan was going to be there, was basically going to talk to Netflix and say, you need to not do this. So I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know how it's all going to shake out. As of right now, nothing's happening. Warner Brothers has got a slate that they're coming out with a ton of great movies next year. Dune 3 is like almost done, if not already. Well, no, it's done filming, but they're in post-production on Dune 3 right now. You've got Supergirl that we're supposed to be getting a trailer this week, I think. In fact, don't I have that as a... Didn't I? Maybe I didn't. Oh, no, I did. Yeah. Supergirl teaser this week. And I got to say, I loved Superman this year. And I'm really interested to see what their take on Supergirl is. So that's the thing. But I just don't believe that Netflix won't put their grimy hands on great stuff from Warner Brothers. Just don't know yet. So, I mean, it feels like we're in Wall-E territory, and by and large, there's just going to be one big company that does everything. And it's like, you won't have any choice, and it'll just be the price. Whatever the price is whatever they decide. Been busy on Tuesday lately. Carbonite, it's fine. It's totally fine. I'm just glad you're here. I'm glad you're here whenever you're here. And that goes for all of you. If you want to hang out, great. If you're too busy to hang out, I understand, man. That's why this is it's just fun for all of us. Just hang out, talk. And sometimes I'm just talking at you. But, I've never seen a non-remastered video on Blu-ray unless it's some bootleg. Yeah, and I mean, it's one of those things where the quality has just gotten better over the years, and that's why some of the latest, and I'm talking about in the generation, some of the last DVDs that were released are almost just as good as their Blu-ray counterpart, because they got the quality really, really high. But of course, the higher that you can scan it in, no matter what you end up saying, like for example, if you have a file that's this big and you compress it down to this big, if you start with a good quality version that's this big, it's going to look better down here instead of just scanning it at this version. Does that make sense? So, for example, it's one of the things that people got really, really angry about the Aliens release that was on 4K, that it was an upmastered or an upscaled version of a 2K scan from 5-10 years ago. Well, here's the thing. 5 to 10 years ago, the technology just wasn't as good as it is now. So the fact that you're taking an old transfer and then you're upscaling that old transfer to 4K means there's going to be a loss in quality, which is why James Cameron had AI involved to try to make it look better. Now, in my opinion, it's fine. In fact, it's better looking than any version of Aliens I've ever owned. But I can understand that there's people that like the way that the old Aliens Blu-ray looked. versus the way the almost too clean version that's on the current 4Ks. I totally understand that. But my opinion, it's all opinion. And the fact is, I got both of them. I've got the old Blu-ray and I've got the new 4K. So I'm happy. I've got both of them. So it's one of those things. It's when you're talking about, preserving a movie for future generations, it's kind of one of those things that it's always better to spend the money on a new scan using current technology. It's going to be better than anything done in 2015 or 2008. I don't even know when that 2K scan was done. So I can understand that there's pushback just because it's not a new scan. But I mean, it's fine. It's fine. And most people wouldn't care anyway. Like there are people, their argument is that, well, that's not the way that it looked in 1986. Here's the problem with that logic. No one remembers what it looked like back in 1986. And back in 1986, there was no digital projection. There were many, many theaters that would intentionally let their bulbs fade before replacing them. They would basically wait till their bulbs broke before they would replace the bulb for the projector. So in many cases, most people didn't even see it in as pristine quality as it is now. On top of that, when Cameron shot Aliens, he had to shoot it on Super 35. Super 35 is an inferior film format, especially when it comes to low light. So he never got the film to look the way that he wanted it to look back when he shot it back in 1985, 1986. So this version of the movie is closer to what he originally intended for that movie to look. And so from that perspective, I look at it from that perspective. I look at what the director intended and the director wants. And if the director wants it to look like that, who am I to say that he's wrong? A lot of people have no problem telling James Cameron that he's wrong. But I look at it and I go, oh, that's what he wanted it to look like? Well, guess what? I think it looks great. I don't see any of the... And a lot of people are like, well, if you freeze frame it. Yeah, if you freeze frame a bunch of movies from any era, if you freeze frame it in the wrong place, you're going to see blur. Because the camera only catches motion in 24 frames per second, which is where you get motion blur. So you can have those kinds of basically distracting elements anytime that you freeze frame something. I'm sure if you push pause when I'm doing my stream, there's going to be many of them where I look like or whatever because I'm in the middle of saying something. Doesn't mean that that's how I always look. So in my opinion, it's a non-issue. And future generations won't know the difference between a really nice looking clean version of Aliens versus the old Super 35 compromised version that he had to release back in the day, and which is what made it to Blu-ray all those years, DVD and Blu-ray all those years. That's just my opinion. Man, I'm a talky bastard. Sorry. But anyway, there you go. Megacore, William Gibson, and Philip K. Dick warned us about. Yeah, for sure. For sure. You can digitize any analog medium to whatever resolution you want. Right, but with the money. See, that's the thing. They didn't want to spend the money. They didn't think it was worth spending the extra money to do it when they already had a 2K version of the film. They didn't see the financial return on going ahead and doing a 4K version of Aliens. That's what it comes down to. It always comes down to money. And the studio didn't feel like that was the call. So then my guess is that they then said, okay, well, Jim, Mr. Cameron, sir, this is what we're planning on doing. Do you want to take a look at it and make sure that that looks good for you? And he's like, yeah. So he goes in there and he says, yeah, that should be brighter. I wanted that whole scene to be brighter, so they made it brighter. Oh, that looks a little messed up. Okay, then we'll do some cleanup. There you go. I don't know. But again, I have both versions, so I'm okay. I have both versions. I've seen that Blu-ray of Aliens so many times. And I wore out my VHS copy of Aliens because I was watching that movie frame by frame. Because James Cameron's editing and B-roll is absolutely insane. It's insane that you can tell what's going on in that movie. Yeah, so I mean, yeah. You're just blowing up the image itself without remastering it. Exactly. I think that should be the standard for older shows and movies instead of pressing more DVDs. True, but yeah. It's just one of those things. You know, there's going to be people that disagree and like I said, good, fine. Buy the Blu-ray. I have the Blu-ray. I'm happy. I have both versions. But guess what? I'm going to probably be watching the 4K more than the Blu-ray ever again. Well, why do you need the Blu-ray then? I don't. But I still have it because guess what? I don't have a 4K of Alien 3. You mean that David Fincher one that was so bad? Yeah, I have both versions of Alien 3. I have the original edition and the director's cut or the assembly cut of Alien 3. Awesome. Love it. So yeah. Chinese theater has the best IMAX experience in the country. Jody B, there are so many times where I wish I could be in California and go to Quentin's theater, you know, or, you know, go to the, I'd heard of the ArcLight, but I never got to go there. I would love to have been able to experience the ArcLight, you know. The closest that I have here in Dallas Fort Worth is, oh God, it's the same theater that we showed Adventures in Plano. But I went to the one in North Dallas. That's where I saw Seven Samurai. They had 3 trailers and that was it. It was awesome. And most of them were just like, hey, here's another classic movie that we're going to be showing in this theater. And I'm like, oh, if it didn't take me an hour and a half to get over here, I might want to come. So yeah, that was honestly, that Seven Samurai experience was amazing. And I'll never trade it for anything because I got to see Seven Samurai in the theater. It was awesome. But man, it destroyed that day because I had to drive for like 2.5, 3 hours on top of the movie being 3.5 hours. So yeah, my whole day was basically watching Seven Samurai. Anyway. The Power of Four, The Power of Many. Wait. That's not what you're talking about. Beat 'em ups. Hello. I don't even know if you're still here because I've been ranting for so long. But hi. Say everything. I missed it. Say everything again. I missed it. Oops. Yeah. Sorry. But how's it going? Let's see. The DVD standard only allows for the 9 megabit per second MPEG 2 or something, blah. Yeah, see, that's where I don't understand any of the actual, like, the bit rates and stuff. All I know is 4K has the potential to be a higher bit rate. See, that's the thing. Not all 4K discs are created equal. You can, it's all dependent upon how they compress it. So for example, if you have a copy of a movie that's on a 50 gigabyte disc, that's not going to look as good as if they put it on a 100 gigabyte disc. In theory, because they have to compress it more to fit it on a 50. On a 100 gigabyte, you're going to get more bit rate and it's going to look better. It's going to have better motion, all those things. So yeah, it's just a weird thing. Greg's butt. What's up? Terminator 2 Skynet Edition Blu-ray looked amazing. So much better than the 4K. Yeah. And that's part of the reason why I never bought Terminator 2 on 4K. It's part of that reason. It's because I was hoping for a definitive, hey, this actually looks good. I don't know. I posted a ridiculous controller I made in general full of Kinder Egg Nintendo novelties because I often forget I hate Nintendo. Been my homies since 1985. Sucks hating them now. There you go. Look at that. It's kind of neat. I can't hate Nintendo. I can't. Man, you talk a lot. I know. I know I really do. I need to that's why I need to drink more. You want to know why I get so dehydrated? You heard why. It's because I talk a lot. I saw Nintendo. I saw Nintendo at the pub the other day, Rufus. They said they still love you. See? There you go. At least I think it was Nintendo. Angelica, thank you. Real Proto Mike. Yes, the Angelica. That's where I saw Seven Samurai in Dallas. And they closed the Plano location where we showed Adventures, actually. They closed that location, which is kind of a bummer. But yeah, the Angelica. And they are the closest to the ArcLight that I've ever been to, where they're all about the art of movies and they care about the presentation and all that kind of thing. We're just waiting for Blu-ray tech prices to drop so we can get the 100 gigabyte discs made for cheaper. Yes. Maybe. Possibly. Sure. Yes. What? I think. Yes. Let's see. Did y'all see this? Star Wars returns to the theaters for the 50th anniversary, which means in February 19th, 2027. The original version of the Star Wars, the original Star Wars movie, not the trilogy, the original movie coming to theaters in IMAX, no less. And I believe 70 millimeter, I believe, is what I saw. But here's the thing that, look, I know a lot of people got really excited, and that means, oh yay, that means we're getting a 4K of the original release. Look at this. Look at that. Look at this. Look at this. Just look at this. Switch on your targeting computer and keep your eyes on StarWars.com for more details, including when and where to buy tickets to this once in a generation event. And you might be thinking, but wait. So? Well, this may be the only time that we get to see the original version of the trilogy, or original version of Star Wars, period. Like, we may not be getting a full 4K disc of this or anything like this. We may not be getting a physical media release or a digital release or anything like that. This may be only in the theaters and only this one time. Because, and the only reason I say this is because it was in George Lucas's contract when he signed Star Wars over that, as far as I know, as long as Lucas lives, the original version of the movies will never be available in any other way. I think this is basically a workaround for Disney to be able to actually make some money off of the original version of the film. But I don't think we're getting a 4K media release. I could be completely wrong, but the way that this is worded it reminds me of it back in 1995 when they released the final special edition version of Star Wars. This is your final chance to get the original version of the Star Wars trilogy one last time. That commercial made so much sense to me, and it was like, wait a minute, one last time. So this is going to be the last time that we can see the unaltered original version of the trilogy available on VHS. I have the widescreen release from that time period. It's the last time that they released it on, like, in the best quality available at the time. And you might say, yeah, but wasn't it included as a special feature on some DVD release? Yeah, I have that too, because I bought the movies like a stupid amount of times. But that is a non-anamorphic version. Basically, it's almost like a Laserdisc rip of the Star Wars trilogy, the original versions, no special editions, but it's non-anamorphic, so it looks kind of like crap. It's a very, very small image. It doesn't look good. So this means that we may or may not get a physical release. Just because of the way that that's worded, it makes me remember that, because I remembered it from back then. I kept telling all my friends, hey, if you want it, you better buy it now, because the special edition is going to come out. And guess what? If the special editions suck, you're only going to have this one chance to buy them on, whatever. And there you go. Bucho doesn't effing know. Love that guy, but he is devilishly evocative. Man, you're feeling kind of cursy tonight, Rufus. Or you're looking kind of cursy. I'd love to see the 100% original Star Wars in the theater. Here's the thing. I don't think I've ever seen the original version of Star Wars in the theater. I could be wrong, but I don't know if I've ever seen it in the theater, because it came out when I was 1. Now, I would think that there's a chance that I saw it in sort of a marathon type thing, because back then they were always bringing movies back and putting them back in theaters, and it was just a thing. They always kept them coming back. In fact, I remember in 1985 they released Return of the Jedi back in theaters, and I got really excited because it was like, see the Star Wars blah blah, and I'm like, oh my god, we're just getting another Star Wars. And it was just a trailer for Return of the Jedi, and I'm like, I've seen that one. Yeah, I was still excited because I wanted to see it again. But I don't know if I've ever actually seen the original version in the theater. Now here's another question. I don't know if you know this. If you're a big Star Wars nerd, you already know this. But the original version of Star Wars was not called A New Hope. It did not say Star Wars and it goes back into the stars and then the scroll comes up and it says Episode 4, A New Hope. It didn't say that originally. In the first run of Star Wars, it did not say Episode 4, A New Hope. It just started with, it is a period of civil war. So which version are we getting? Are we going to get the original? What sound mix are we going to get? Because the sound mix has changed drastically over the years. So what copy are they using to make copies for this huge release back in 2027? We don't know the answers to these questions, but I want to know. So it's one of those things where it's like, I don't know. It could be really, really cool. And I'm sure it is going to be really, really cool. But what version are we going to get? And how's it going to go? I don't know. Yeah, I don't think Carbonite, those don't work on here. Oh, there you go. Yeah, the commands are there. But I don't think there's a follow age or sub thing like that. I don't know. I don't know how that works on YouTube. I know that works on Twitch, but not on YouTube. They've been doing that with the Disney Vault for ages, right out of their playbook. Well, true, but this was mandated by Lucas, not Disney. The whole idea of the original version of the trilogy doesn't exist anymore. No, he just doesn't want those versions to be seen anymore. And he's always said things like, oh, it's because the effects weren't where we wanted them to be and blah, blah, blah. But the theory that I've heard is that because Marsha Lucas, his ex-wife, edited Star Wars, he could basically kind of stick it to her a little bit, because she wouldn't get this. Making a special edition would basically make a new version of the movie, which would mean that she wouldn't be entitled to any of the money from that. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's a thing. Wraith, welcome. Thank God I saw The Crow 30th anniversary. I never saw I saw The Crow in the theaters opening weekend, but I didn't see it again. Who allowed them to keep making updates to the movie? Sounds expensive. Well, that was Lucas. And again, if you're trying to cut your wife out of future proceeds of your movie because you're mad at her, I mean, that's a way to do it. And he was also pioneering some techniques that were going to be used in episode 1, episode 2, and episode 3 in the following years. So 95 was the last time that the original versions were available. The special editions started coming out in 97. And then in 1999 is when The Phantom Menace was released. So a lot of the techniques and then I guess the new technology at the time, the digital technology at the time, was used to make the changes to the special editions of Star Wars and Empire and Return of the Jedi, and use those techniques to further along when it came to Phantom Menace. But the funny thing is man, I don't know how long it's been since you've seen the Phantom Menace, but man, there's some shoddy CG in there. And episode 2, episode 3 is pretty badass. It still looks pretty solid, but there's some shoddy CG work in episode 1 and episode 2. But yeah, I think it's a Stream Elements thing. Yeah, but I don't know if I don't think the Follow Age stuff works on Stream Elements. I could be wrong. I just don't know. Maybe I don't have it turned on. Was Star Wars his first movie? No. His first movie was basically like an extension of a student film that he did called THX 1138, which I also own. Do I own it on Blu-ray or DVD? I may just have it on DVD. But it's with Robert Duvall, and it's an interesting film, but it's more of it's like really, really heavy sci-fi. And then, of course, he did American Graffiti. And American Graffiti is what basically put him on the map and allowed him to pitch Star Wars to all the different studios. And all the studios turned him down except for Alan Ladd Jr. at 20th Century Fox, who said, I don't understand all this shit, kid, but I kind of like you. So, yeah, I'm going to give you some money to make this movie. And the rest is history. So there you go. Star Wars was an indie film at first. No, it was still technically a studio film, but then Empire and Return of the Jedi and every movie past that Lucas made were considered independent. Because Empire was made on his own money, and 20th Century just distributed him. So he must have had amazing patrons. I mean, it's 10 and he's still talking. I know. Just a couple more things, and then we'll jump over to the Discord and let you guys talk a little bit. So apparently in IMAX this weekend, they are re-releasing Sinners and One Battle After Another this weekend, if you're interested in that. And apparently there's going to be an IMAX prologue to The Odyssey. According to the rumor, a 5-minute and 47-second prologue of Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey will be attached to screenings of both films starting on December 11th. Additionally, a new trailer for The Odyssey will also play before screenings of Avatar: Fire and Ash, which hits the theaters on December 19th. So next week, we can count on an Avengers trailer, the Odyssey trailer, possibly the Supergirl trailer, and possibly the other rumor is for Steven Spielberg's unnamed UAP/UFO movie that comes out next summer, that there's going to be a trailer for that as well. So it's next week for Avatar: Fire and Ash. We're going to get some interesting stuff. So there you go. The next thing that I wanted to talk about is that the Lord of the Rings trilogy is returning to theaters in January for the 25th anniversary. We've talked about this. I don't think we ever talked about it on stream. We talked about it in the Discord, or maybe in our little Discord chat. But yes, this is happening in January. I don't know if I need to go see these in the theater again. I've seen them. I saw all of them upon release, and I actually no, I never saw the extended versions in the theater. So basically, this would be a pretty big. I mean, that's a pretty big, especially if they're doing marathons where they're playing all the movies in order. That's anywhere from 9 hours to almost 12 hours in the theater. I don't know about that. I mean, I was pushing it for Kill Bill. That ended up being about 4.5 hours. So I don't know. Now here, this is one that I just thought was interesting. Get out of here. So Avengers Endgame is getting re-released in theaters next year in September, before Avengers Doomsday, of course. The rumor mill is saying that there's going to be a new scene added to Avengers Endgame to get people like excited about Doomsday. I mean, who knows? We're 9 months away, basically 10 months away from seeing this being re-released. They could do any number of things to basically promote Doomsday that's going to be coming out in December of next year. But one of the things is that there's going to be a new scene, and that maybe like what two things came out of the John Campea show that was actually kind of cool. John Campea himself said, what would be interesting is, you see all of those, spoiler alert, I guess, for Endgame, but there's a funeral at the end of Endgame, and then, maybe Doom himself peeks around the corner and he's basically in the line of, which would be kind of interesting considering he's playing the role of, he's playing the role of Tony Stark. Now he's playing the role of Dr. Doom. That could be interesting. Or it could be the final thing that you hear on the soundtrack in an Endgame is the sound of Tony from Iron Man 1, basically hitting the, basically molding the Iron Man helmet, right? When he's in the cave in Iron Man 1, remember that sound of him hitting it? Anyway, they said, but you don't see it. You just hear it. You hear that sound. One of the things that they were saying was, wouldn't it be cool if the screen actually comes on and it's him, but he's hitting the Doctor Doom helmet. He's making the Doctor Doom helmet. I mean, I'm like, okay, that's kind of cool, if they do that, but who knows? And the last thing that I wanted to just bring up, and this is not going to mean much to everyone, but I'm a fan of Markiplier as a content creator. I think he's amazing as a content creator. He's really, really funny. I've always liked him. Last year or the year before, he did a series on Amazon, I believe. I think it was on Amazon. It's called The Edge of Sleep. Really interesting. He was super involved in the making of that. He's doing basically a movie adaptation of the video game Iron Lung, and it comes out in January. So it's just one of those things. I think Markiplier is cool, and I like The Edge of Sleep, and I just thought it'd be cool if I mentioned it. Not that I'm sponsored by anybody. Hashtag not sponsored or important. That's the Order 42 way. I don't know. But yeah, so there you go. So how does a first-time filmmaker get money from Warner Brothers? I'm stuck at that part. Well, the way that it works in Hollywood is you either know somebody or you have an amazing way, you basically set a meeting and you have an amazing pitch. So that's what happened. Now, part of the reason why he was also a part of American Zoetrope, which is Francis Ford Coppola's company. Francis Ford Coppola at the time was just killing it in theaters because he had The Godfather, then he had The Conversation, and then he had The Godfather Part 2 back to back to back. And all three were nominated for Best Picture, and two of them won. So Francis Ford Coppola was one of the biggest reasons why George Lucas was able to do a lot of the things that he was able to do, is because George Lucas helped him with some of those things. In fact, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, George Lucas filmed some of the shots in the original Godfather. So, yeah, him, Martin Scorsese, oh God. I'm trying to blank. Other great director. He did The Untouchables. He did Body Double. He did Body Heat. He did the Blowout. Brian De Palma. Also, the editor of The Conversation, who I think won an Academy Award. I'm drawing a blank. Anyway, they were all friends. and they were all part of this, hey, we're going to be this anti-Hollywood kind of situation. And that's part of that thinking, that sort of rebellious late 60s, early 70s thinking, um, made them form American Zoetrope away from Hollywood. And that's why after doing American Graffiti, Lucas was like, I don't really want to work in the Hollywood system. And that's part of the reason why he made the deals that he made that basically made him a billionaire. He made the deal to say, hey, I want all the merchandising rights for Star Wars. And at the time, merchandising was a non-issue for the studios, and they said, okay, yeah, whatever. You can make your $5 on that. Well, then he turns around and makes Star Wars into, a worldwide phenomenon, and people are buying Star Wars toilet paper and Star Wars tampons and whatever you can put Star Wars, the name Star Wars on. Man, he made a killing off of the licensing, which helped him to fund Empire Strikes Back, and then so on and so forth. And it kept building into the empire that is Skywalker Ranch and ILM and Lucas Skywalker Sound and all those things, right? He was a pioneer of all of these technologies that the reason why we have movies today the way that we have them. THX, the standard for movie theaters. I mean, it was just the story of George Lucas is amazing, but he's got great vision, but he's not the best writer and he's not the best director, but he was in the right place at the right time and made this lightning in a bottle thing called Star Wars that just took over the world, and it took over his life. He wanted to make, little documentaries, and, that's what he wanted to do. But and you could say that, yeah, he's like, he couldn't get away from Star Wars, but he didn't want anybody else doing Star Wars, which was a shock that when he finally said, okay, I'm done making movies. I'm just going to sell to Disney. So anyway, it's an interesting, he's an interesting guy. And I've always been one of those people that I want to preserve Lucas's vision on things, because Disney definitely has not gone the Lucas route. Now, I can't tell you that the sequel trilogy under Lucas would have been any better than what we got with Disney, but at least it would have been original, and at least it would have all, 7, 8, and 9 would have all made sense together. Not like these did. Yeah, let's preserve Star Wars A Christmas Special. Well, I mean, I don't know if that was all him. Are the Odyssey tickets already being sold for IMAX, or was that for opening day? I think that was only for opening day, and yeah, they all sold out, which is nuts. And that was a year in advance, which is just nuts. But it's insane how in life you can find people that are willing to risk it all on you, and that's exactly what happened. I mean, they gave him however much money, and they were like, we don't really get it, but you go for it. I mean, at that time, there was no big science fiction thing happening. Star Trek had been canceled 8 years before. I mean, of course, you had 2001 in the late 60s, but I mean, for the most part, this idea was just so... I mean, all the studios turned it down. All the studios except for 20th Century. So, yeah. I just thought you'd just try to do it indie and hope you can sell it later. Well, yeah, but if you do it indie, how would you get the money? And what he had in mind did not exist. They had to pioneer the story of Star Wars. KP Senti, you probably don't have access to Disney Plus because you're not into movies. But on Disney Plus is an absolutely fantastic documentary about the making of Star Wars. And it's about all the trials and tribulations and what it took to get from Star Wars from just the idea to the screen. That ILM had to be invented. Industrial Light and Magic, which is the premier computer graphics or visual effects house in the world. Like, everybody wants ILM to work on their movie. Everybody. And the fact that they had to invent these technologies, motion control, rotoscoping, all of those things were used. They were so archaic the way that they were done in the past, and they had to pioneer all of these technologies to make this happen. It is absolutely fascinating. I'm sure you can find like the making of Star Wars or whatever on YouTube if you have the desire. I mean, honestly, not everybody's into that kind of stuff, but man, I love that stuff. And I have, ever since I was a kid, I loved watching the making of movies and watching them, like how bad some of the effects looked and then how it ended up looking. And they won Academy Awards for it. And then Lucas turns around and says, yeah, none of that's good enough. I'm going to replace it all with CG. And you're like, that's kind of messed up. It's his movie, but that's kind of messed up. So, yeah. Rumor is Doomsday is a direct sequel to Endgame. Possibly. But nobody knows yet. You know, nobody knows. Let's preserve Star Wars a Christmas special. No. And by the way, hi Ito Ramos. And we are way past time. So I'm going to jump into wait, what? What? Oh. Okay. So let's jump into Discord, man. Guys, I'm just going to say this. I'm going to say this one more time. And this is the last time I'm ever saying it. Thank you for watching. I'm just kidding. I'm going to say that many, many more times. I really do appreciate you guys. I mean, you just don't understand what it means to me that anybody wants to hear me rattle on about movies and stuff, and that you guys want to hang out. And it's awesome. And I really do appreciate you guys. And I hope you guys know that I mean it. That I really mean it. I mean, like, deep down in my plums, I mean it. And not in any sort of weird, any weird way, other than I just really appreciate it. Because y'all are awesome.
Honestly.
Uh-oh. I hear Rufus.
Can you hear me, Rob?
I can hear you now. Because now I'm in here.
Dude, Star Fox is not helping me at all. He's supposed to be helping me test my audio, and he's not. He's ignoring me. He's not confirming that my audio works, but my audio works, and you've confirmed it. So thank you.
Yes, I can hear you just fine. Actually, you sound crispy and clean. I love it.
Fantastic.
Well, good. But hey.
Hey.
I appreciate you guys. So thank you guys for watching. And if you want to come hang out on the Discord, you can. And it's fun. And usually we talk about things that I can't talk about on stream, but not much. Really, it's more of just them. It's them yelling at each other and hanging out and having fun. And it's a good time. So if you guys want to come hang out, do so. Do so with your whole face. And you don't have to show your face on stream if you or on like most of the time it's me and Rufus and Style Fox and maybe Ninjinzu, and that's pretty much it most of the time. And Bucho every now and then will pop in and just go and then leave. You know, like he does on this channel. Like this. Oh, there he is, and then he's gone. You know, that kind of thing. But anyway,
confirmed.
Hey. I appreciate you guys. And we'll talk to you later. Bye.